above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
(6), Friday morning. Beautiful song. It's the 14th of March already. My goodness. Welcome to a brand new day. With a good old message for you from Ohima Mercy. Rely on him, depend on him, lean on him, and he will do, because he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever think of or ever imagine. In his own time, he will make all things beautiful. Just as he sends the rain in his own time. You know, Deuteronomy 28:12 says, the Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. Let me take it again. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, and to bless all the works of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. Now the challenge is when the season is not yet due, when you've waited for the rains for so long, and you don't even see signs of the clouds gather, then you begin to entertain thoughts. Maybe I should help God. No, we've heard he's done great things before, but maybe in my case he has forgotten about me. Let me help him. No, or him a mess is too bossy. Too much. Calm down. Keep working hard, keep trusting, keep praying, keep doing good, and keep remaining faithful, because you are dealing with one who does not know how to lie, and he will show up for you in a massive way that you never thought of. So this morning, do not lose hope, do not panic. Your moment is coming, your season is coming. While at it, do not fret, and do not lose faith. Have hope. We have hope that this nation will get to its heights, will rise to the heights where it deserves. That's why we keep doing this every day. We keep pushing every day through the power of radio. Welcome to 97.3 Citi FM. We call this the Citi Breakfast Show. I am Caleb Kuda. It's a very interactive show. Join us via the WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. Where are you listening to us from? Did it rain wherever you are? We'll be happy to get in touch with you. Good morning to all our listeners in Sefshi, Rioso, Sefshi, Akontombra, Swedru, Nkwanta, no, Driaya Nkwanta. I love that name, Driaya Nkwanta. And all our listeners, Bechile, Kaswa, Amomole, Teshinungwa, Mamobi, Akontombra. Wherever you are, let us know. Get in touch. We're happy to hear from you. 6:28. We'll jump into the newspaper review shortly. And it's proudly sponsored by Total Excellium, Fidelity Bank, and Piva Beverages. Have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Let me tell you more about it. It's an amazing, powerful 3-in-1. Something. Total Energies introduces the Excellium new formula, additive and rich fuel, powerful 3-in-1 action, cleans your engine, extends its life, lowers your fuel consumption, thanks to the cumulative effects of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Excellium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. Your drives experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. From the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we are here for your journey. Every goal deserves the chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We're here for your journey. Believe with us. Now let's talk about Piva, people. Piva Beverages, my goodness. If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva Beverages. Piva Cola, Piva Orange Fruit Drink, Piva Cocktail Fruit Drink, Grapefruit Drink, Piva Tangy Fruit Drink, besting with tangerine flavor. Look, it's all about the Piva, you see what I'm saying? Grab yours today. We are available now at your local store. Call us 0550-032-231. Ubet me don't want to Piva so. No, obey your manaya ode. Obey your ode agaza.
P-E-E-V-A Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you'd love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, the go. Ah, go me. I want time where you can't park where I don't hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the go be too small.
Go, the go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I did for you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I did for you. If I believe I did your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I did your side, fidelity.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Abrantia match today brings us to the newspaper review. Or say or do with the baby. Bernard, good morning.
Good morning, Caleb.
Nana to Fobuating.
Good morning, Caleb.
Good to have you around the table again.
Always good to be here.
Welcome back from the caravan.
Yeah,
Thank you. The all amazing caravan.
Yeah, big man. Incredible stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, journey of networking, discovery, transformation.
Charlie.
No,
They say the route you use, if we go in a state of SOEs, exercise to block inefficiencies and deliver value, is photographed here with Professor Michael Pesa White with his shiny head.
Thank
and
you.
dark goggles. Discussing. Yuhunu takes over from Dampare as IGP. This is page 25. Auditor General's recoveries hit 31.5 million cedis. Money transferred to Consolidated Fund. So they are collecting the money back small. Meanwhile, Pastor Otabil urges strict law enforcement for national development. This is on page 20. On the back page, government reduces price of passports to 350 Ghana cedis. And a middle page story that I thought would just bring you as a headline.
Yeah.
ADRUs on the increase. 38,447 cases resolved through alternative dispute resolution.
Wow.
And over 20,000 responses on free SHS.
Wow, 20,000.
People mean the free SHS.
Let me take you to the Chronicle newspaper. Imani Ening pray Supreme Court to stop Mahama from sacking Dampare, but President goes ahead with the dismissal. Related story. Mahama summons all service chiefs to Jubilee House today.
Okay.
Minority punches holes in 2025 budget, and the full statement is on the center spread of the Chronicle. Confusion over Bogosu Pristia mining lease, and child custody blues. Father drags lawyer Kwesi Finn to legal counsel.
If you move to the new publisher, Minority Desk Finance Minister IMF program not breached. Meanwhile, don't kill myth, according to a man called Lawman. Kofi Adoma, your harsh words make me wish death. Very sad story of our colleague who's had an eye injury following an accident. And then Jubilee House says Jocelyn Duma was never appointed.
Okay. The Herald newspaper this morning. Mahama begins security overhaul with IGP Dampare's removal. General Legal Counsel caught up in strange ruling on lawyers' qualification and alleged wrongful enrollment at Ghana School of Law. 37 lorry station under siege from land grabbers. Commuters to be left stranded. GBC refutes claims of Director General's expired tenure, and SIC Insurance PLC pays over 1 million Ghana cedis in insurance claims to VRA.
Daily Analyst says Dampare booted out. Yuhuno takes over. The two men are photographed here on the front page. Meanwhile, Galamsey Western Region, GJA condemns barbaric attacks on journalists, urges police and courts to ensure suspects face full force of the law. Meanwhile, Minority says the 2025 budget lacks credibility. Vice President Suez new BOG board, and Fitch Solutions says NDC's decisive victory will not shield the government from significant policy challenges.
Ghanaian publisher. History will remember Akufo-Addo. This is Amin Adam speaking. 5.7% GDP growth, not due to illegal mining. This is the Ghana Statistical Service. Mahama picks COP Yohunu as new IGP, and GJA charges government to protect media practitioners.
The Inquisitor puzzled and dismayed at OSP kenning inferior tactics. Stories on pages 4 and 5. Meanwhile, government allocates over 146 million cedis to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Then investigate cash for National Cathedral. This is Stephen Amoa. Is the MP for Nshayeso.
Yes,
and then Forestry Commission arrests 3 Chinese, 9 Ghanaians for Galamsey. And then UG deals with sexual harassment, drugs and misconduct. Suspends lecturer and 16 students.
Wow. Finally from me is the Informer newspaper. IGP Dampare must stay. Imani appeals.
All right.
Finance Minister's budget data exaggerated. This is the Minority in Parliament speaking. Believe in Ghana, health experts urges politicians, and protect us. Momo vendors cry out.
Right, I take you to channel1newsroom.com and other online platforms. Free dialysis was a technical decision, not political. Dr. Isiasari here. IGP dismissal. Mahama has the right to choose his team. This is Peter Tobu. He on Citi Newsroom though says that he also was calling for secure tenure for IGP and security chiefs. However, on Channel 1 News, he says that Mahama has the right to choose his team. GJ laments lack of street lights on highways, major roads in Accra. Boko, 1 killed in reprisal attack. 150 Ghanaians face deportation from U.S. for rape, fraud, and illegal entry. Imani story is here. Kwesi Enin files you to stop Mahama from dismissing IGP, other security heads. NPP leadership not absent. We are strategizing. This is Haruna Mohammed speaking. Vice President swears in BOG governing board. Mahama's 149 million Ghana cedis for research communications exceeds 4 ministries' budget under Kufuor. This is the minority. But Kwachio Fosu hits back and he says discretionary expenditure has been reduced by 345 million Ghana cedis in the 2025 budget. If I take you to citynewsroom.com, do not rush to the capital market. Peter Korte warns government. 78 million Ghana cedis not for my office, but for state agencies. Kwachio Fosu, Energy Minister, inaugurates committee to probe Akosombo Dam spillage impact. Now, 1 person is feared dead, 4 injured in head-on collision at Gomoa. Asen, sad one. UG suspends senior lecturer for sexual harassment. That is here. We are told 56 Galamseyers arrested at Takwan Soyem. The removal of IGP and appointment of COP Yono is here as well. If you go to My Joy, not a fresh case, not a political attack. Imani's legal battle over Dam Paris removal. There has to be some pain. Economist Joe Jackson is speaking here. 50 Ghanaians in U.S. receive final deportation orders set to return by mid-year. Mahama appoints COP Yono. That's here. I take you to Class FM.
So essentially a lot of follow-ups on the stories in the newspapers.
That's right. Now, ECG outages due to a heavy March 13 rainstorm. So some people didn't have light yesterday. The Galamsey fight is here. 56 persons arrested. 25 Chamfang machines have been set ablaze. If you go elsewhere to the BBC.
What are they talking about?
Okay, let me start from CNN. Putin questions the US's proposal for 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine war. Charlie. Passengers forced to stand on wing as they evacuate American Airlines plane after engine catches fire at Denver airport. And then fear and resignation after world's most powerful company pays Trump $100 billion protection fee.
So before does the story on the IGP, let me just give you this one. President orders audit of SOEs. The president has instructed, this is Graphics story, the SIGA, which is the State Interest and Governance Authority, to commission independent audits of SOEs to identify inefficiencies and financial leakages, emphasizing that the government will not sustain entities that fail to deliver value to the nation. Now, you should hear the president says by 2026, when their first year results are in, if they can't do the work, they will just go. Now, the directive aims to align SOEs with the country's economic gain goals and reduce the financial burden they impose on the state. Now, he issued the directive during a meeting with CEOs of SOEs in Accra yesterday, where he expressed deep concern over the recurring losses incurred by unprofitable state enterprise. Now, the meeting which assembled heads of the various SOEs in the country also had in attendance Minister of Finance Dr. Keseda Tuforsen, World Bank Country Director Robert Taliesio, and then the Chief of Staff Julius Debra and the DG of SIGA Professor Michael Bessa White. So I think it's a very good call. He instructed SIGA to audit SOEs to identify inefficiencies and insist that the government will not sustain those who are not doing well and that there are too many who are a drain on the state.
He's attributed the challenges to leadership, management, the CEOs and all that. So I mean, I think.
So here's a quote: loss-making SOEs will not be tolerated. They will be swiftly removed, merged, privatized, or shut down. So choose one.
But let me tell you about the losses Georg and Gridco has been making. Atuforsen made these revelations. We are told that. So here's the headline. Gihok lost 25 million Ghana cedis in 2023. Gridco recorded over 8 million deficit Ghana cedis, 8 million deficit. This is Atuforsen speaking. He has raised concerns over the significant financial losses reported by several SOEs. He was speaking at the same meeting where the president gave that instruction. Now, one of the most striking examples he highlighted was the ECG, which recorded consecutive losses over 3 years. The company reported 1.46 billion Ghana cedi losses in 2021, which said to 8 billion Ghana cedis in 2022. before slightly reducing to 5.96 billion Ghana cedis in 2023. Now, he cited losses at the grid co, which recorded 93.5 million losses in 2022 and 8.6 million in 2023. However, he expressed particular surprise over the struggles of companies in seemingly profitable industries such as Georg Distilleries, which reported losses of 25.1 million Ghana cedis in 2022 and 25.5 million in 2023.
He's shocked that the alcohol producers are also making
because
losses.
that place no,
But is it automatic?
Profit.
Well, I mean, a lot of their private sector colleagues are doing well. So are they making loss just because they are state-owned or they are spending money on unnecessary things?
All right.
Let's come to the IGP story.
Let's get into that. I'll take you to the Herald newspaper. Mahama begins security overhaul with IGP's removal. President John Dramani Mahama has initiated changes within the security services, beginning with the removal of Dr. George Akufu-Dampare from his position as Inspector General of Police and the appointment of his deputy, Commissioner of Police, COP Christian Tete Yohunu, as his replacement. Similar changes are expected across other security institutions. I'll bring you a related story from the Chronicle that says Imani Ening prays Supreme Court to stop Mahama. A story by Maxwell Ofori, and he reads: the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has been invoked to restrain President John Dramani Mahama from dismissing the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, and other heads of Ghana's internal security services. An interlocutory injunction filed on Thursday, March 13, 2025 by the Imani Center for Policy and Education and Professor Kwesi Enin is seeking to prevent the president from dismissing these heads until the final determination of the substantive matter, which is also pending before the same court.
Right.
Now,
meanwhile, the IGP's dismissal has gotten more reactions. Peter Tobo is speaking. He says Mahama has a right to choose his team. This is Channel 1 News Member of Parliament for Wild West, Peter Lanchene Tobo, has urged Ghanaians to allow President John Mahama to make his own decisions regarding the leadership of the country's security forces, emphasizing that this is essential for achieving the president's security vision. Quote, let's let His Excellency the President have a choice to make as to who can fit into his vision to ensure that Ghanaians have peace of mind to sleep. That does not mean the person who is going out of office is a bad officer. Meanwhile, he also says that there must be some security of tenure. Tobo is calling for secure tenure for IGP and security chiefs. Now, his remarks come in response to an injunction filed by the Imani chief and Professor Kwesi Enin. Let me bring you a quote here. If the Ghanaian people think that this way of doing things is not the best, let us try and find a security of tenure for the IGP.
All right.
We will go by new legislation. We will go by some repeals of laws. We will go by constitutional amendments to see what we can do by a new line of thinking, a new legislation to appoint and disappoint.
Can I give you some quick headlines from the graphic? Education Forum receives over 20,000 responses on free SHS. This is after the last stakeholder meeting. The National Education Forum Planning Committee has received 20,050 responses on free SHS policy through an online platform. In addition, the committee also received over 2,000 online submissions and 200 paper submissions on various aspects of the educational system. Now, Chairman of the committee, Professor George Odro, said this at a stakeholder validation conference in Accra yesterday. You know, there's an 8-member committee tasked by the president to plan the forum to review the education system in pursuit of his pre-election promise of holding a national stakeholder forum to discuss ways of sustaining and helping education. Now, since the inauguration of the committee, stakeholders' engagements with key publics, including students, parents, teachers, researchers, civil society organizations, and development partners, religious bodies, political parties, chiefs, etc., has been held. And basically, they are now coming to organize a bigger event. Second story quickly, Auditor General recoveries hit 31.5 million cedis.
Wow.
So the recoveries account created by the Auditor General to streamline the collection of disallowed and earned salaries and other recoverable funds has accumulated 31.5 million cedis as at the end of last month. The money accrued to the Auditor General's account in June 2022 at the Bank of Ghana has since been transferred to the Consolidated Fund. Now, I'm sure you know the background of this, where, Occupy Ghana went to court to sort of get the Auditor General to enforce disallowances and recoveries. So if somebody earns a salary that is not supposed to earn, you don't just highlight it and go and sleep. You actually collect the money back. So since that law was passed, 31 million cedis has been received in the account.
All right. Yesterday, the minority held a press conference where they sought to punch holes in the 2025 budget statement as presented by the finance minister. The Ghanaian publisher is reporting on it and says that history will remember Akufo-Addo. This is attributed to the former finance minister, Dr. Amin Adam. And it says the former finance minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, has expressed confidence that history will recognize the economic achievements of the Akufo-Addo administration despite the current government's attempts to downplay its successes. He accused the new government of manipulating fiscal data to create a negative economic narrative, warning that this could harm Ghana's credibility with international investors. Dr. Amin Adam stressed that while the Mahama-led NDC government criticized the previous administration for borrowing to unsustainable levels, it has significantly increased Ghana's debt stock within just 2 months in power. Okay, so you can get the full statement in the center spread of the Chronicle.
There are various versions of that. If you go to publisher, Minority Desk, Finance Minister, IMF program not breached. So various angles in there. But let's come back to you before I take you to some Galamsey related stories.
Great.
Lots of arrests.
Still on the minority and the response from the government on the budget. 78 million Ghana cedis, not for my office, but for state agencies. This is Kwachu Fosu basically explaining that, so the accusation from the minorities that even though the government is claiming it's a lean government, collapsed ministries and all, the budget for the presidency alone is more than budget that allocation for about 4 ministries under the Akufo-Addo government. But Kwachu Fosu is explaining that, look, with the closure of some of these ministries, the people have not been necessarily sacked. So all those civil servants come under the office of the presidency, and so their salaries are being wired through the office of the president. And then the civil servants there are 30 and not what the minority is.
So 56 Galamseyers arrested at Akwa Nsuaima. Kwesi Ajenim, he's been on the Galamsey beat commendably. So now he's reporting that the Western Regional Council, Security Council, in a joint operation against illegal mining conducted by personnel from the 2nd Infantry Battalion, the police, and the Western Naval Command on Thursday, March 13, just yesterday, arrested 56 illegal miners at Kadadwing in Takwa Nsuaima. The arrests were made across 7 Galamsey sites with the suspects comprising 47 males and 9 females. They've since been handed over to the Western Regional Police Command for processing. In addition to the Takwa Nsuaima operation, the joint force extended its clampdown to the Ahanta West Municipality and Impoho District. Upon arrival of the joint forces, the Galamseyers fled, abandoning their equipment and leaving behind devastating pits. As a result, the forces seized various items, including 3 motorbikes, 9 pumping machines, and 3 excavators, while also burning 25 Changfang machines. Now, there needs to be high-profile arrests. A lot of times, we know, you arrest the guys on the site, the money, follow the money. That's the main issue. So, but Brigadier General Musa Waja told Channel 1 TV the operation against legal mining and the devastating of the environment forms part of President Mohammed's anti-Galamsey fight. Some of the pictures are very disturbing indeed of the kinds of things they've done to our land.
We understand some lives were even lost in an open pit.
Yes.
3 days ago.
Meanwhile, GJ is condemning barbaric attack on journalists. This was what happened to our correspondent a couple of weeks ago. So the GJA has renewed its call for urgent action against legal small-scale mining, warning that the destruction of Ghana's natural resources is spiraling out of control. At a press conference yesterday, GJA President Albert Kwabena Jumfo condemned the continued devastation of the country's water bodies and forest reserves and farmlands due to unchecked illegal mining. He stressed that the rule of law in mining communities is collapsing, leading to increased human rights abuses, illegal land seizures, and environmental destruction. In fact, Herald is talking about land grabbing.
Yes, 37 lorry station under siege from land grabbers. Tension is high at the 37 lorry station as traders vow to resist the alleged takeover by profit-driven individuals. The decision is expected to leave drivers, their assistants, traders, and particularly commuters to various parts of Accra stranded. I'll jump a few paragraphs and read this one. This paragraph says, the traders at the historic terminal are already engaged in a direct confrontation with the leadership of the local Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, whom they accuse of colluding with MacDan to take over the land, which is reportedly owned by the Central Band of the Ghana Armed Forces. However, Daniel Macaulay, also known as MacDan, has denied any involvement with the land.
Let me take you to the University of Ghana, where it has suspended senior lecturer for sexual harassment. Story on citynewsroom.com. Letitia Osei writes that the University of Ghana has suspended Dr. Samson Obed Apia, a senior lecturer at the sociology department, for 2 semesters over sexual harassment. A notice signed by the university's registrar, Mrs. Amelia Ajay Mensah, dated March 12, 2025, stated that Dr. Appiah was found guilty of misconduct, violating Section 1.1a of the Sexual Harassment and Misconduct Policy and Section 10.0 of the Code of Conduct for Academic Staff. As part of his sanctions, he is required to issue a formal written apology to the complainant and is barred from applying for promotion for 1 year after serving his suspension. Additionally, he must undergo training on sexual harassment and misconduct facilitated by the university's Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee. Dr. Appiah was sanctioned alongside 16 students who were penalized for various forms of misconduct.
Now, a couple of stories from the Foreign Ministry back page of the Daily Graphic. We're told that government to reduce prices of passports to 350 cedis, and this is to make it more affordable. And then the other one is more troubling. 150 Ghanaians face deportation from US for rape, fraud, and alleged illegal entry. Foreign Affairs Minister Okujoto Ablakwa has disclosed that 150 Ghanaians are currently in detention across various centers in the United States of America, awaiting deportation for crimes such as rape, internet fraud, and illegal entry. Speaking in Parliament, the Foreign Minister provided an update on the situation based on information from the Washington mission. Can you imagine? And 50 individuals have recently received final deportation orders from the court, with the deportations expected to occur by mid-2025. The remaining 100 cases are either under appeal or have been dismissed. So, and then there's a couple of stories I'll just highlight quickly. National Cathedral cash should be investigated. This is former Deputy Finance Minister Stephen Amwa has stated that while he has no objection to the Stored National Cathedral project, he's concerned about its financial implications. Speaking on Joy News AM on Thursday, Dr. Amwa acknowledged concerns over the project's funding and overall cost. And then he basically says he thinks that the money should be investigated, and those raising concerns are right. Even though I am an MPP member, he also raised concern about the location of the facility. And then the Minister for Education says we still have 5,000 schools under trees. 5,000? My brother. This is Africa Education Watch have been saying this to us. Exactly. The Minister has, and I'm happy the Minister has admitted the number. So we can work on it. Now, Minister for Education has revealed that because Africa Education has been saying this for a long time.
Saying it over the period,
that approximately 5,000 schools across Ghana still operate under trees, lacking proper infrastructure. You know, and he questioned the quality of teaching materials, asking what kind of blackboards do they use, what kind of teaching goes on there. And of course, he was speaking on Joy FM. Now, the issue now is what's going to do about it.
Does he say what he's going to do about it?
Now, you know, the budget did not go into details on sectors. We are told all sector ministers will come and present their own report. So I'm hoping to hear something from him on what he's going to do about the 5,000 schools under trees.
Great.
Right. There's a sad one from our colleague, Kofi Adoma.
Oh, Charlie.
He says, I wish I had died.
Aye.
Kofi Adoma breaks down while recalling eye shooting incident. Ghanaian broadcaster Kofi Adoma Wanwani has disclosed that at a time during his accident, he wished for death rather than living with the pain and negative narratives surrounding his gunshot incident. Speaking at the press conference on March 13, 2025, alongside his wife, Kofi recounted the emotional trauma he endured after being shot in the eye while covering the Kwafie festival in the
Remember, Godfrey raised the point about the use of arms in these festivals. And he's a victim of that.
Exactly.
We really wish him well, that he will recover soon, because he didn't look in a very good way.
No, not at all.
I'm hoping the Interior Ministry will do something about this thing. That we must learn from this experience so it doesn't recur. Top of the hour for the news review. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you to Four.
Thank you, Caleb.
Bringing you the business news shortly. Nashika Caesar is here.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Don't get scammed. Fraud activities are on the increase as scammers are continuing to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, emails, all in an attempt to get customers to divulge sensitive information such as passwords, PIN, card information, CVV, OTP, and other personal details. Their ultimate goal is to steal your money. So please be extra vigilant. EcoBank is wishing to advise you that be extra vigilant and never trust any phone call, text message, or email from anyone posing as an EcoBank staff and assisting customers to update their bank details. Such things are done at the bank. Others are done on the app. some on the website www.ecobank.com. So if anyone calls you requesting for your 16-digit number, your CVV, your PIN, or any such sensitive information, please report such suspicious SMS, email, or phone call to the Ecobank Contact Center and delete such messages. If you feel in doubt or insecure, call the Ecobank Contact Center 0800 003225. It's a toll-free number. Ecobank is proud to be associated with the Citi Business News. Good morning, Nashika Caesar.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and Ecobank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Coming up, Presidential Advisor on Economy Seth Tekpe defends government's 2025 budget, says it's crucial to addressing Ghana's external debts. Also coming up, economic watchers warn government against a premature return to the international capital market. And later, banks urge to extend more credit to women-led enterprises to help close financial gaps. We settle for the details of our stories now. The presidential advisor on the economy and a former minister of finance, Seth Tekpe, has defended the government 2025 budget, describing it as a necessary step to implement austerity measures aimed at addressing the country's external debt. Seth Tekpe traced the evolution of the nation's debt portfolio over the years, emphasizing that the government will need to adopt alternative solutions to avoid defaulting on external debt payments between 2026 and 2028. He made these remarks at a farewell ceremony held in honor of Simon Madji Day. Madji, the former executive secretary of the American Chamber of Commerce Ghana, who is currently the CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center.
As we speak, we have just cleared the first of the suspended debt, and there are 3 more big harms to come for us to clear. One of them is an outlier, but there are 2 between 2026, 27 and 2028. We must find a solution to this, which is either we pay down, we refinance, and pay. Otherwise, there's a real possibility that we might default a 3rd time, and that's a reality. And this is a source of worry, which came with a very tough austerity budget. I thought I was the one who was thought to have, to do austerity, but listening to my deputy, who is now the Minister for Finance, I realized that he's talking more austerity than I did when I was minister.
Seth Tekpe is the presidential advisor on the economy and former minister of finance. Meanwhile, the CEO of the GIPC, Simon Madji, has reiterated the government's readiness to ensure both local and foreign-owned businesses in Ghana thrive. Moving away from that, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, Professor Peter Korte, has cautioned against a hasty return to the international capital market following Ghana's recent debt restructuring. Speaking at his inaugural lecture at the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences on the topic Debt, Investment and Growth in Ghana, did we borrow to consume? Professor Peter Korte stressed that over-reliance on Eurobonds is unsustainable, and he urged a shift towards domestic financing alternatives to support economic growth.
2023 deficit finance is 3.2% of GDP. 2024, it is estimated at 5.2% of GDP. Deficit finance resources have to be sought to finance them, either borrow domestically or borrow from external sources. Until we generate enough resources domestically, that problem will continue to persist and will continue to borrow. I want to sound this caution: borrow less from the capital market and at reasonable interest rates.
Professor Peter Korte is director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE. Now, banks have been urged to break away from long-standing lending biases and extend more credit to women and women-led enterprises, a move regarded as crucial to closing the persistent financial gaps across local economies. Speaking at this year's Agri-Fraser Gadgesberg Memorial Lectures on the theme, Her Money, Her Power, Making Finance Work for Women, Josephine Anna Annan Ankuma, the regional executive at Ecobank for Central, Eastern and Southern Africa and managing director of Ecobank Kenya, emphasized the urgent need for financial institutions to rethink their approach to funding women-owned businesses.
Women-led businesses often remain in survival mode. Necessity entrepreneurs growing incrementally rather than exponentially. The irony is banks are missing out on a golden opportunity. Women entrepreneurs are proven to be more reliable borrowers. They have the lowest non-performing loan ratio. Yet, because traditional banking models prioritize collateral over potential, many promising women-led businesses never get the capital they need to thrive. So what's the solution? Financial institutions need to rethink how they assess risk and create more startup-friendly lending programs that consider alternative forms of creditworthiness. Women entrepreneurs are not high-risk investments. They are high-impact investments. And if banks want to be part of the future of business, we need to start betting on the powerhouse that is women-led startups.
That was a regional executive at Ecobank for Central, Eastern and Southern Africa and managing director of Ecobank Kenya, Josephine Annan Ankuma. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. The dollar is going for 15 cedis, 80 pesos, and the British pound is going for 18 cedis, 70 pesos, and the euro for 16 cedis, 20 pesos. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. That's all for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Ecobank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Crash it. Mommy rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town. More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got. Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more. Dial star 770 hash. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
I know, you do me bad, then you know what. Miss you for my pillow, tears we soak my pillow. Oh, wait till I do you. Where you leave me, go for a tungo. Where you leave me, go for a yeah. Where till do me, no my sister, yeah.
It's 7:08, and we'll bring you the business edition shortly. There's a panel conversation on the 2024 Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor. Discussions centered on savings culture, rising financial stress, and alternative ways to manage financial pressure. So look forward to this. The financial pressure, a lot of people are feeling it. It's everywhere. So we are having a conversation on our savings culture, the rising financial stress, and most importantly, the alternative ways to manage the financial pressure. We'll get into that very quickly. However, if you're sending money to the Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's very, very simple and easy through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS. You can do that. All you need to do is to visit the First Bank Ghana branch nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. If you want to receive money, you will need a First Bank Ghana account. There's one way we'll put you first. 0596921921 is the number to call to find out more. And if you're ready to drive innovation and take the next step in your career, please apply for Ashesi University's master's programs. They combine world-class education with African relevance, regardless of your career aspirations. And Ashesi Master's program equips you with the skills, ethics, and network to lead boldly. Applications are open for 2025 cohorts. Learn more at ashesi.edu.gh. ashesi.edu.gh. That's right. And we're providing a lot more enjoyment for all of our customers from January to June 2025. Talking about enterprise insurance, giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your insurance, existing motor insurance policy, and enjoy amazing rewards, free fuel coupons for your car, and airtime for your phone. Insure naturally and simple. Over 100 years of trusted experience, we're here to secure your peace of mind. Visit any of our branches, connect with our insurance brokers or agents. Use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons anytime, as well as airtime instantly when you buy or renew your motor insurance. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise is your advantage.
I go mad gun chatting at the A. I go mad gun chatting at the A4. That's one way take you away.
So Jeria Jololo is the moderator for this panel, and our very own Bernardino Kokuables on this panel. And we have some management officials from Old Mutual and financial planners on this particular panel. Taking a second look at our savings culture, rising financial stress, and alternative ways to manage financial stresses. Please enjoy this. We'll be right back.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna give me some love so bad. My girl, sweet girl, my girl. I can see.
Please welcome my panelists as they join me on stage. Mr. Roy Punungwe, Madam Vukuyazi Madube, Mr. Bernard Avle, Mr. Patrick Ba Abankwa. Please make them welcome with a round of applause. For the next 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we stand accused. We want to delve straight into the sub-themes that have come through, and I want to really premise this conversation on 3 building blocks. Let's talk of the now, let's talk of the future, but most importantly, let's talk about prospects, great opportunities that lie ahead. But we're going to start with the newest member of our family. Ladies and gentlemen, he's taking over from my brother, Tawana Visa. Make welcome warmly our Group CEO, Old Mutual Ghana, Mr. Roy Punungwe. How does it feel joining us?
No, it's good. It's a good experience.
Really?
I'm very happy to be here.
Make sure you don't become a Ghanaian. So let me start with you, Roy. From what we've heard so far, I mean, I would like to get your fresh perspective. Why is this research of importance to your business and the financial services industry? And for all Ghanaians, tell me, what's in it for them?
No, thank you, Mr. MC, and good morning to you all. I think for us, very important for our businesses on Mutual Ghana, but I think more importantly, very important for the industry and the market. For me, I think the way I look at this study, it's more like a dipstick test to see how well we're doing as financial services providers in addressing the needs of our market. and it's a bit of an indictment. I think there's some work that we need to do, areas of improvement. I think coming closer in terms of Old Mutual Ghana, I think for us we are a customer-led business, so it's very important for us to have a deep understanding of the consumer, of our potential customer base, because I think with that understanding we can draw some very important insights. It becomes very valuable for us because we look at it from both sectors, the formal sector and the informal sector. But I think more importantly, with the context that was set by the professor earlier on, for us here in Ghana, when you look at the country over the last 2 to 3 years, we've gone through some economic challenges. So I think it's more important now, more than ever, for us to have a better understanding of the financial well-being of our target market. I think the understanding is one side of the coin. I think the other side of the coin is the actionable insights that we draw from it. And I think that's the focus for us as Old Mutual Ghana. And I think the place to start is around the product development side of things, because with a study like this, you actually see where the needs and gaps are of our target market, and how we can kind of tailor our offerings in addressing those gaps. I think something that comes out strongly was the sandwich generation, the 4 out of 10 that's in the market. And when you look at what we're offering in the industry, nothing quite speaks to their sandwich generation. So I think it's also an opportunity, and these are the insights we need to bake into our product development space. I think also from a risk management side, it's actually quite interesting, because I think a study like this actually helps us in terms of predicting financial behavior. We talk of the borrowing, the lending. Sure. And in Ghana, a big part is the bank of family and friends, which doesn't always show up in the other data points. So you always have to bake that in when you are doing your product development and offering the solutions to the market. I think also for me, from an innovative side of it, because as a business, we want to become more data-driven in our decision-making. So this is an additional data point that we'll then build into analytics to see how do we position ourselves in the market even with our solutions, and how do we package some of those solutions for our customers. I think it's also important when you look at the customer experience side of things, because this gives us more insights in terms of how we better engage our customers. I think the piece that sticks out for me is more customized engagements with specific customer segments, more targeted communications. We talk about the polyjobbers who are different from some of us who have one job, one hustle. Sure. You know, they have nuances in terms of maybe how we need to engage them. So some of those things we need to think around them. But I think also at the same time, I think there are definitely opportunities that you get out of the study. So there's a potential in terms of market expansion, inclusion of certain segments that we were not including. I think for us, it definitely gives insights in terms of how we can also position ourselves, especially with that segment that is currently unbanked, where we are not there strongly, but it's where we want to be, because 70% of the market is in that, mostly in the informal sector, and a lot of them become unbanked. So we need to see how we can reach out to that segment, and also being aware of some of the cultural nuances that you see. Sure. The second priority here is that people are concerned in terms of how they assist other people, which is not always evident in the other markets that we operate. So those are some of the key takeouts. I think in a nutshell, for me, it definitely allows us all in all to become builds a better competitive advantage for Old Mutual Ghana. But more importantly, I think it puts us in a uniquely or better position to be able to help more effectively Ghanaians achieve their financial security, their growth, and their long-term prosperity. Cool. Thank you.
Lovely. You've spoken about product development. You've talked about customized, solutions and communications, ways of reaching even the underserved. Let me come to you, my sister. Let me get the name again. Vukuyazi. Vuyokazi. That's what happens when your moderator hasn't had breakfast. Forgive me. Let's talk about the issue of debt. It's really fascinating. So, from my understanding of your presentation, there is less emphasis on retirement planning. There's more concentration on an increased appetite for debt, which leaves us in a very precarious situation, in the sense that polyjobbers, as we've come to know, side hustles and all that, that's what people are focusing on. So my question is this: if the Ghanaian consumer is stretched, but is still very committed to saving, are we seeing similar trends across the continent also? And what are the points of convergence and difference in these studies?
And we're sharing the mic. So thanks so much. So I think, one, the stretched elastic band sandwich generation is very consistent across the region. I think the reliance on debt is also starting to emerge as something that is happening across the region, in Kenya, in Namibia, in multiple markets. I think where Ghana is different, and this is what we shared in some of the results, is the importance of community and supporting community in that. So if you have a pot that is limited, because it is limited on a month-to-month basis, part of that pot is going out to support people versus actually servicing debt, for example, or saving further, etc. So I think that is probably the biggest nuance, is when you start to look at debt, it's in the context of a nature and an interconnectedness amongst people and community. Now, I think where things become slightly concerning is when we look at debt as a means to an end and survival almost, which is what you're starting to see. So the number was 38% of people receiving money from family and friends to sustain them on a month-to-month basis. And what you want to see slowly is that number dropping, not because, you know, family and friends have closed their pockets, but because there's less reliance on that. And so I think that probably is the focus area, more so than using debt and using borrowing to actually supplement income. It's seeing businesses grow. It's seeing people earning, you know, more, versus whether that's through polyjobbing or multiple opportunities. But it's starting to see that lower reliance on family and friends and debt to make ends meet, because that does become a cycle and does tend to actually become quite problematic when you look at long-term financial well-being.
Let me just add a little bit. So, looking at a peculiar situation where we really tend to rely on this organic solidarity of Biakoye, interdependence on each other, how is Old Mutual positioned to take advantage of this unique arrangement and proffer some very sustainable financial solution?
I think that's a question for Roy, but I'll take it. I do think, no, I think the probably where the difference is when you look at Old Mutual is our commitment to understanding customer needs and consumer needs is how we then better serve those solutions, whatever they might be. So, you know, we were talking earlier about, are there any savings mechanisms that are, besides your informal mechanisms in the formal sector, are we actually harnessing that community and that sense of Biakwe? Those are some of the conversations we can start to have, but I think it starts with the insights. It starts with the understanding that this is people's reality and not trying to change them or judge them. I was joking with Roy earlier that this is a judgment-free zone. It's very easy to kind of look from the outside in and say, oh, but why are people supporting other people? You know, if they were taking the money and doing something, that's not the purpose here. The purpose is understanding so that we can actually better meet the needs of the people we are trying to create solutions for. So I think as Old Mutual, we're probably at the beginning of that journey of really making sure we understand. This is the second time we've done the survey, obviously from 2023. The economic environment has changed, as Prof showed us earlier, drastically. And so I think our commitment is to taking these learnings and making sure that we're doing something with them and making it actionable. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think there's anything. I don't know, Roy, if you have anything to add, but I don't know of anything in particular from an innovation perspective that has been developed. But I definitely think where we are leading the charge is on commitment to understanding and then making that a reality or actionable within our business.
So a focus on education and also awareness, education in general. Let me come to you, Patrick Abankwa. You joined us last year, and you are an investment analyst. You are also somebody who is in financial literacy. What we know of debt and savings is as a result of developments in our economy consistently. Share with us what's been the evolution of savings and investments across, in Ghana in general, over the last few years, and where do you see it going in the short to medium term?
Thank you very much. What I see from my engagement with a number of people when it comes to savings and investment is the fact that people are beginning to put emphasis on savings as we speak. as compared to some few years ago. And then what pushes a number of people will be the fact that people lost their jobs during the COVID times. And people have now seen the essence of beginning to put a focus on savings. So that continuous reminders of putting savings at the forefront of our discussion is something that people are looking at now. Then the issue of debt, as we saw in the survey, people are now also focusing on debt. But if you look at the general sense of it, the debt usually goes into education, it goes into housing, it goes into medical bills. So if people are beginning to put these things in context, that means that whatever decision that they take within the debt space will be geared towards something that is sustainable in the issue of education. Sometimes we don't see education as an investment, but we all know that education is an investment in someone's life. So that's also something that Ghanaians are putting much focus on. Then the issue of retirement planning is also something that people are beginning to put their minds around it, because whatever you do, eventually get into that space. And sometimes when you talk of retirement, people are thinking of the HCC that we have in Ghana. But you can go on early retirement because of an illness and accident. So people are beginning to also see the need to position themselves when it comes to retirement. So these are the critical things that people are focusing on. And then again, one thing I also find is, and I also saw it in the report, has to do with financial education. People are now beginning to look for information when it comes to investment that they can do, when it comes to savings products. And that leads to the quest for digital products. Now, people don't actually want to go to the institution, their offices, to get solutions to their problems. They want institutions that are offering this digital product by the click of a button. They go on their phones, they get that. So that's also something that is driving, and that's also more of the medium term to the short term basis when it comes to the needs of people. So that's what I see from where I sit.
The report shows us that a lot of people are not digging into their savings. They are rather going for more debt and more assistance. I mean, not necessarily, debt. Tell me, from what you've said so far, children's education is a priority, as well as some informal retirement plan. Are these priorities aligned right? Are they sustainable?
I wouldn't say it is fully sustainable. What I've also found out is that people have gone into the space of lifestyle adjustment and inflation, where we begin to live a certain lifestyle which does not automatically or correlate with our income. So we see certain kind of lifestyle that appeals to us. We tend to follow after that, but it doesn't align with our level of income. So that means that it's either we are going into our savings, if we have, or we now fall on others for support. So we live our life with a gap that, okay, this particular gap will be filled by this uncle or that friend. And that's what we continue to do, and it becomes a cycle. And if that cycle is not broken with some kind of financial education, it will continue till the person gets to a point where if the support cuts, then the person is in serious trouble.
To the extent that I stopped posting some time ago, because whenever I post an event, somebody will call me and say, "Oh, I just saw you just finished this event. I beg, I need 1,000." And before I realize they are living some frivolous. But let's come to Bernard. Bernard, you are our finance minister. We take your word as final. General Manager, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Your station has been at the forefront of financial literacy with your Effective Living series and all of that. You've really given us a lot to ponder over and to change our mindsets when it comes to our finances. From what we've heard so far, 40% of respondents strongly agree that financial service providers don't understand their needs at all. In designing solutions to address the challenges we see raised by consumers in these findings, what do you think financial service providers need to carefully consider?
Wow, that's like an exam question. Thank you. Look, I'm happy to be here. That's point one. I need to say that the first time I heard of this report was, I think, a year ago, 2 years ago. I heard her on air. I was driving somewhere and I was like, wow, this is so refreshing for a financial institution to be discussing what you really call intelligence on public radio. So I asked my guys to permission to play it back the next week, and we did, and we got a lot of good feedback, which goes to the point that there's actually demand for high quality discourse on consumer behavior, financing, which is really missing. A lot of the economic discussion is very dense. So, for example, yesterday the budget was read, and those words, I mean, to be fair, this year's budget was less technical but thanks to my friend Patrick, a lot of times we hear fiscal rigidities, we hear things that really don't make sense to the ordinary people. So it's refreshing to hear somebody talk to us in a way we understand about something that's important to us. And I think Old Mutual deserves a lot of credit for this. I was actually remarking to her that I was surprised your competitor hasn't copied this, because not only is this useful for generating insight about the consumer side and also coming up with strategy, you're actually growing the market by educating people on their own behavior. So I think it's fantastic. And so that's my preliminary comment. Second point, before I answer your question, again, taking liberties. I noticed that there's a certain tendency towards mobile money. In fact, this report is very rich. So for example, if you look at where people take out loans from, a lot of people prefer their family and friends. Formal financial institutions, it rose from only 8 to 13%. But people taking out a loan from a mobile money doubled, 11 to 22. What does that say? It tells you that the financial services from mobile money is a real treasure trove. 46% of people are saving with mobile money. That's incredible. So they're probably saving more with their mobile money than they are saving with their bank. What does that say? A lot of times when we discuss savings and all these things, look at it from the supply side. Government is crowding out investors. But maybe the way people interact with their mobile money service provider is different. Maybe because they have lower costs, they are able to offer sort of cheaper loans. Because a lot of our banks, because of their cost structure, the loans are very expensive. So maybe for even Old Mutual and the rest of us, the mobile side, using technology to cut down costs, can make it easier for you to lend cheaper. So all the value is translated to us, the end user. So I think this report is saying a lot to the industry, even about how we relate with the consumer. All right? So I don't think we should gloss over it. I actually think beyond this panel, there should be a lot more digestion of what this means for the way we relate with clients, because I think there are lots of interesting insights there. Now to your question about, obviously, most people don't want to go to their bank anymore. And I obviously trust my friend more than my bank. And I think what we've seen is that a lot of these banks come with supply-side products. We have this interest. There are a couple of problems with their offerings. I don't think they are transparent enough in the way they even communicate. So they'll come and say to you, come for a loan, you live happily ever after. They don't even tell you how you're going to pay. They don't tell you what method of payment they will use. All right? So for example, I was interviewing a bank a few days ago and they were saying, if you come for a loan and you're paying back, we use the reducing, they call it reduced balance mean. A lot of people don't even go into those details, right? They don't tell you how come I'm charging you 22% per year and how that cost build-up comes. So I feel like from the demand side, people want more transparency. Be upfront like you are. Because I want to take money or give money to the person I trust. So I think what you're doing is you're demystifying finance. And so more people would want to either save with you or do their pensions with you because you've demystified it. Number two, if you can make it more affordable, remove all those hidden charges, unnecessary things in the fine print, and basically charge me just for the interest, I would be happier to come to you. Number three, the low savings mobilization is also because, and this is a general criticism of the financial sector, financial institutions exist to do intermediation. Basically, they take money from people who have excess of it, like Roy, and give it to people like me who don't have any. So they offer Roy a savings interest rate, and then I pay something, so Roy gets his money protected. The savings interest rate is very low. Meanwhile, the interest rate you charge me is very high. So the spread is extremely high. So your objective of financial intermediation doesn't happen. Number two, a lot of the banks' financials, banks in Ghana don't lend to people. They basically buy government money. We've looked at most of the financials of the banks. Their interest income is from government securities. They are not giving money to people, which is why you found that less than 9% are going to banks for money for their business. So I think this report is humbling in the sense of confirming that a lot of our financial institutions are not really doing financial intermediation and they are not consumer-centric. This office has a big opportunity to have a new conversation about how we engage in a more transparent way, how we are more open, and I hope more financial institutions will follow your lead to say, look, let's be transparent, let's be honest, let's sit on a panel and put a pesky journalist on to question us. What that does is that when you come back on air next week to come and do a commercial interview, people believe you because you're being more transparent and you are actually understanding my need. You're making an effort. So I think there's a big opportunity for more financial education in a transparent fashion, and I can only see this getting better. So that's my long answer to your very short
question. Let me just follow up
Thank
by asking, apart from being transparent, apart from them, getting a pesky journalist as yourself, what other innovative ways can financial service providers scale up financial education without necessarily going through this route?
Again, what we're doing now is an example, right? Look, we have about 3 or 4 TV stations here. Again, they are using the data, right? Word of mouth, 57%, TV, 56%. This is live on television. All right? This will be played back on radio on Friday morning. So use the media. The media does not exist to only amplify propaganda. That's been what we are here for. And she said something that a lot of you didn't get. She said, a lot of people are aware about their savings behavior, but they have not changed their action. Because there's a very big gap between what you are aware of and what you do. And media helps bridge that gap. Because you can be aware that when you're fasting, don't pass by a bakery. Because you will change your resolution, because the smell of bread will make you change. But that's awareness. But from awareness to understanding, to credibility, to action is a very big gap. So what credible media like Channel 1, Citi, and the others do is to help bridge that gap by saying, I was there, I've also done this, I have a story. So people know they have to save more. But the impetus to save is not just because the financial institutions are not giving us a good impetus, but there's need for credible channels to communicate the imperative. Because, for example, in difficult times, you tend to take better decisions than in good times. So 2022-23, when we had the massive economic crisis, people really think about, do I really want to spend money on this or that? Meanwhile, a lot of companies within that period say they are cutting back. I felt like after the COVID crisis was the best time to come and do financial education. To say, after the collapse after inflation in the global world and all the things happening to our currency, where do I invest my money now? Missed opportunity. If she had come on here to say, now it's time to invest in this, that, or the other, because people are now worried about what the government has done to their money, they would listen more. But they wait for things to go, everybody's happy. People want to buy a new house, marry an extra wife. That's when you want to come and advertise. That's not when I'm going to do it. You get me? So I think we've missed the trick. And I'm saying this for the marketing managers of these companies, that a lot of times when companies want to cut back, the first person whose budget gets cut is her budget. But no, that's when you need to engage more. Because now people are listening. When things are going on, nobody's going to listen. But now that people are broke, government hasn't paid them, given them a good haircut. Exactly. If she comes on to say, well, there's a better way of doing it, I'm going to listen. So I want you to see communication spending as investment and not expenses. Right? You are growing a clientele base. And by the way, she didn't ask me to say this.
We'll solve that when we get to the office.
So what I'm saying to you is that this work that has been done is part of marketing communications. And I commend you for doing it. But take it to the next level, because to lead in any industry, you have to bear the cost of educating the industry. And when people get convinced, you get the first right of refusal. So it's not an expense, not a waste of money. It's actually market development. And we need more of this so people can take better decisions. 90% of Ghanaians don't have a financial advisor. That's terrible, right? But you are positioning yourself for people to say, by the way, can I call somebody at Old Mutual? Maybe have this money, I need to do something. That's how you grow the market. So I want to encourage you to do more of this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sure.
Thank you so much. And I don't know whether you have a deal with Rita. I'm not involved in that. But I do just want to say, to your point, I think what we've done this year is also just make sure that some of these results land in the hands of our consumers and customers. And so on social media, you'll be seeing it throughout the year, actually. We have bite-sized insights that people are able to say, okay, actually, if you are in the sandwich generation, what does that mean? What is the tool that Old Mutual already provides? How do you calculate how much you need for retirement? That is all available for our customers and consumers to access. It's on social media, it's on our website, it's on all different platforms. And I do think that to your point, that financial education in a digestible, consumer-friendly way, because again, you can't send a 30-slide report to a consumer and be like, hey, here you go, know better, do better. It really is us making sure that the information and the knowledge that people need is in their hands and they're empowered with a way of actually acting. So whether that is a tool or a calculator or pointing them in the right direction for financial advice, talking about debt, all of those conversations are actually happening and they have started as a result of this work. So I just wanted to share that that is actually happening, and you can keep us honest and keep us to task on that, but it definitely is something that it's not just a one-sided conversation. We definitely want to engage our customers and consumers, and we are doing so with these results.
Insightful and revealing. As we tie the bow on this wonderful conversation, let me come back to you, Patrick. You as an individual, you are an investment advisor, you've done so much to give visibility to this area. Tell me, you sit on, you wear two hats today. You come from the Chartered Institute of Bankers, at the same time too in your own personal capacity. What should institutions like banks and professionals like yourselves do to give visibility to financial literacy and education?
I think that this is a call that I welcome, because I used to work in the banking industry, and you realize that most of the things we do in the banking industry are geared towards offering and selling our products. So a customer comes in, they need a loan. Your mindset is that, okay, how much do you need? Let me just put the paper together, get approval, you go. We don't take time to walk the customer through what they should do beyond the loan, so that tomorrow they don't come back for the same loan to solve the same problem. So as professionals and as institutions, we need to take it upon ourselves to create advisory service which is constant at each of the branches. So a customer comes in and perhaps the customer does not need maybe a loan. All the customer needs is someone to advise him or her on what to do. But we don't do that. So for me, it's the first thing that institutions should do. Every institution, whether you are an insurance company, whether in pension space, a banking industry, there should be a constant and deliberate advisory service that people or customers can easily tap into without any cost once they are customers of the institution. That's one. Two, there should be deliberate webinars to engage clients on issues that are happening within the industry. Because most of the decisions that customers take, most of them are born out of ignorance, in quote. Most of them don't even know the impact of the decisions that they are taking. But if we invite them, we hold forum, webinars for them to come and learn, that's also something which is going to help. Then, of course, people should be empowered to do financial literacy on their own, their various communities, their various churches. This should be something that should be done on a deliberate basis. Of course, we know the church or the religious body is for religious activities. But when people's welfare, like their financial needs, are not met, it affects the church. So that should also be empowered when it comes across. Then, what I also think people should also do is that beyond all of these things, people should also take responsibility for their financial decisions. And that comes with awareness, as Bernard said. People should be made aware of the fact that if I take a decision, if I go for a loan, if I go for this particular money for this program, and the program does not bring me immediate returns, I'm going to create a hole. And that hole cannot be solved until I begin to increase my income, as we saw in the polyjobbers. So that is what I think should be the approach in solving this thing. So institutions will have their part to play, which they have to do more. As individuals, we should also be conscious of the impact of our financial decisions on our future. And if we don't do that, that's where the challenges will continue to prevail.
Wow. 23 minutes of a very refreshing conversation. We've delved into the Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor. It is an opportunity for us to have a bird's eye view of financial behaviors, attitudes, and challenges which has been faced by Ghanaian consumers under the 2024 economic climate. And most of all, it's been an avenue for us to assure you, our broad stakeholders, of our commitment to driving positive financial behaviors, thereby helping Ghanaian consumers achieve their lifetime financial goals. Roy, in 2023, what we did sent ripples. What we're doing today is sending waves. But tell me, what is the future of this report and your outlook on 2025 as Old Mutual Ghana?
I think for us, our outlook is quite positive on 2025. I think also, the budget statement came out yesterday, and there are some positive market indicators. But I think in terms of this report, I think I come back to what our Minister of Finance said. Bernard. I think we need to drive the education piece. The market development piece, I think, is what we need to drive strongly. And I think we need to leverage the technology side. We are definitely planning to increase our financial education on social media, for example, in addition to already what we're doing on radio. But I think we need to also bring partners to the conversation. I think more importantly, the way I look at some of the challenges that we have, it's not an Old Mutual only problem. We have some systematic issues. So we really need to take an industry approach to it. So it really takes the collective at the end of the day. We need a more collaborative approach amongst the financial services providers. And we also need to be a bit more innovative in terms of how we take that message. I think once we do that, once we are strong on the market development, I think everyone in the end wins, because the financial inclusion side actually drives up, and that will feed into the economic growth and over the long term, socio-economic stability for the nation. So I think that is something that we need to keep the big picture, eye on the big picture at the end of the day.
Eye on the big picture. Okay, Patrick, together with Bernard and then my sister, let's wrap it up. 3 action points from this survey or from this report. What will they be?
Okay, so for me, it's about the financial education, awareness. We should drive and drum some of the things that we've seen. There are confirmations of the things that perhaps we know already. So we should drive what people should do in terms of actions around if you are borrowing within your circles, what should you do? Then I also think that for Old Mutual, it's about the digital products that should solve the problems of people. Once you drive that out, I'm sure some of the issues may not repeat or even reduce in the subsequent report that we'll be doing next year.
Okay. Finance Minister.
Yes, Jerry, so I think they should keep doing more of this, right? Because it's very clear that to lead in any market, you have to spend some money to develop the market. And there's a big opportunity. The 90% of people who don't have a financial advisor is a big opportunity, because eventually they would need one. And I think this is a good start. So Old Mutual should continue basically pushing, all right? And number 2, find, as she said, new ways of using old content. All right, so this is a big, good conference. I like the fact that you have different snippets on different platforms. I think you could even start talking to university students about financial planning and stuff like this. So if you sponsor a university program, let them start thinking about their future, because you don't want them to be part of the sandwich generation. And you'll be surprised that as you grow that group, when they become financially comfortable, you will be the person they would come to, all right? And number 3, continue the partnerships. I like the word. So it's not media as just the tool to advance your welfare. And we too don't see you just as another client who's giving us money, which is why we've left everything almost over. I'm here, a lot of guys are here, all right? So I feel the partnership point, because where we're getting to in this cluttered world is we cannot do business as usual. If you want to give value to Old Mutual, you have to give them your best. You have to be flexible. Bend over backwards to create solutions. You cannot just sell airtime. You have to think deeply about who your customer or client is trying to reach and how you can partner them to reach that, so that when they grow with you. So I think those are very strong words, and I'll leave the rest. So, but thank you so much for the opportunity.
Lovely. Uyukazi?
Thank you so much. I think the one has been said, financial education. The second one for me is a long-term perspective. This is the long game. Any kind of financial well-being, creating wealth. Someone spoke earlier about how do we harness community to create wealth. It is the long game, and I think although people are living today in their realities, we need the financial services industry to be playing the long game, looking very far ahead in terms of in 10 years, in 20 years, what are some of the things that we want to see, and start actually activating towards that. And then I think the third thing is supporting the entrepreneur. We haven't spoken a lot about entrepreneurship today. We did cover it, but I think it is still a mainstay. So those polyjobbers, people with side hustles, people with businesses, 50%. So that in this room, half of the people in this room have a business. You know, we were talking about just how embedded that is. And I think there's really an opportunity to start making sure that through their businesses, through their entrepreneurship journeys, we are not just educating people, but empowering them to improve their finances holistically.
Roy, you have the last word. For me, these results underscore the importance of financial advice in navigating our finances both for today and tomorrow. Seeing the positive shifts in savings behavior gives us the assurance that Old Mutual's commitment to driving positive financial behaviors is indeed helping Ghanaian consumers achieve their lifetime goals. I'm further emboldened by the fact that your commitment to meeting your customers' holistic needs through an integrated financial services offering is shaping ongoing insights such as these and many more. And I believe Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor will enable partners across the divide to act intentionally to changing the status quo. But most of all, I hope that these insights will become a catalyst for us all to join forces to solve our shared challenges, whether they be in the economy or more broadly related to the well-being of our people. Now that you know better, help me say thank you to my amazing panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, they've done a yeoman's job. Mr. Roy Punungwe, Group CEO, Old Mutual Ghana. Madam Vuyokazi Madube, Group Head of Knowledge and Insight. Mr. Bernard Avle, General Manager, Citi FM, Channel 1 TV. And Patrick Babankwa, an investment analyst.
My girl, sweet girl, my girl, I can see all your joy, I can see the world for you, and the world.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
This year, something magical is happening. A celebration of tradition, flavor, and community. Welcome to the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025.
Taste the heart of your heritage with mouth-watering dishes from across the country like Ademe with Akle, Tozafi with Ayoyo soup, Kokonte, Apopranta, Rare Kwine, and many more. From rich spices to sweet treats, it's a journey for your senses. We're taking you back to your village.
Oh yes, let's recreate our age-old recipes.
But it's not just about food, you know. We're celebrating culture, connecting with family, and making memories that last a lifetime.
This March, let's come together and discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 29th and 30th of March 2025. The venue, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day.
The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025, where food, fun, and tradition meet. See you there.
Interested vendors should call 0558-973-973 or 0205-973-973 to register. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Gino, Koa Natural Cocoa Fruit Juice, and Pan-African Savings and Loans.
You are starting life, you want financial freedom, you know where to go. For your child's education, financial freedom, we got solutions just for you. For your retirement plan, employee wellness and benefits, Old Mutual, your preferred credit insurer. Old Mutual is the best.
What are you waiting for? Come and join us. Call us on 030-7600. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Do great things every day. Do great things every day.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Friday morning, welcome aboard to Kickoff on the City Breakfast Show with me, Edwin Kwakofi. Kickoff is powered by Shell, Shell Go Well, Zonda GH, and Lesheho, Let's Improve Life. Let's start the bulletin off with the president of Ghana Athletics, Bawa Fuseni, who has stressed that Yao Ampofo Ankra's top priority as the newly appointed Director General of the National Sports Authority should be to rebuild public trust and improve the institution's reputation. In recent years, the NSA has faced significant criticism, particularly over the mismanagement of national stadia. Former leaders such as Professor Peter Chumesi and Doji Numekevo bore the brunt of public and professional backlash due to these issues. Despite this, Bawa Fuseni remains optimistic about Ankra's leadership, expressing confidence in his ability to reverse the NSA's fortunes.
He is capable and he's qualified, and I believe that he will be able to achieve give the reason why he has been appointed to head the National Sports Authority. All of us are there to support him, and I'm very hopeful, and I know what Yao can do, and I have a strong conviction that Yao will succeed. His immediate task of National Sports Authority is to regain the public confidence and the integrity of the National Sports Authority. For me, image or reputation of institution is very, very critical. So what he needs to do as quickly as possible is to work to restore the image of the Sports Authority. And afterwards, he can implement his own ideas or the ideals of the ruling government who are put him there. But if you ask me, the first thing he has to do is to restore the integrity of the Sports Authority, bring back the federation under his authority so that everybody goes through him to the ministry.
Bawa Fuseni is the president of Ghana Athletics. Meanwhile, a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Youth and Sports, Adama Suleimana, believes Yao Ampofo Ankra has limited time to implement critical reforms for Ghana sports.
Yeah, Ampofo Ankra is a seasoned sports journalist. I mean, he has worked in the media space for a very long time, went to BBC, came back, has headed... Is it the beach soccer? Yes. So I mean, he's not only a football person, and they say it's not only about football; it's about all the other disciplines. So I think the president could not have made a better choice than Ampofo Ankra. I believe he will bring changes to the NSA because and because he's a political appointee, he has not gotten a lot of time. He has very limited time to make an impact. So as the workers there, the permanent workers there, those who have tenure of office, as they can relax, he cannot relax. So I'm sure he'll put in the maximum work to bring Ghana sports to the level that the president desires.
Those were the thoughts of Adama Suleimana, who is a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Youth and Sports. Away from that, the president of the Ghana Association of Sports Betting Operations, Dr. Kobi Boateng, has welcomed the removal of the 10% tax on betting, describing it as a progressive step for the industry. He noted that the tax had driven many punters to cheaper illegal betting sites. Boateng pointed out this tax had inadvertently fueled a parallel market, benefiting unauthorized operators while undermining consumer safety and reducing potential state revenue.
The other bit of it, which I think makes operators happy, was that this introduction of the 10% gave way and open a gateway for illegal companies outside Ghana to operate on that basis. And we had a flood of them entering the Ghana sea, whereby they were using the withholding tax as a catch for people to register and then play on their line. They were not paying anything. They are not licensed in Ghana, so they don't even pay anything to the Ghana government. So in that regard, we are happy that once and for all, this withholding tax has been taken off our back. Right.
That was Dr. Kobe Boateng, who is the president of the Ghana Association of Sports Betting Operations. To football, and it's match week 24 in the Ghana Premier League this weekend. There are 3 games tomorrow. Samatex host Kotoko. Hearts of Oak take on Dreams FC, and Young Apostles face Accra Lions. On Sunday, Diana take on Bibiani Gold Stars. Bechem United host Vision FC. Hearts of Lions face Karela United. It's Holy Stars versus Nswacheman. Legon Cities take on Brekum Chelsea, and Nations FC face Mediama SC. Let's head to Europe now.
Hoyland, bit of trickery. There's the fullback, Dallo, all over now. Manchester United have a 4th on the night, 5-2 up.
Well, Manchester United skipper Bruno Fernandes scored a hat-trick to lead the side to victory against 10-men Real Sociedad at Old Trafford and book a Europa League quarter-final encounter with French club Lyon. Speaking of Lyon, Ghana's Enes Nyama also scored a brace in their 4-0 win over FC Style Bucharest. Jacques Batland's penalty shootout heroics also earned Rangers a place in the quarter-finals after Fenerbahce overturned a 3-1 first leg deficit at Ibrox. They will face Athletic Bilbao after Nico Williams scored twice to lead them past 10-man Roma. The match ended 7-1 on aggregate. And in the Conference League, Chelsea are also through to the quarter-finals after beating Copenhagen 1-0 at Stamford Bridge to win the tie 3-1 on aggregate. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff is powered by Shell. Shell Go Well, Zonda GH, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Caleb Kuda continues.
Services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings, from chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy, and laughter assemble, because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
You're looking for a bank to rely on?
Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Would we say to banky baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
There is money in the soil. Find your way into profitable careers and businesses in Agric and ATVET now. Take a step today and change your life, your family, and community. Dial *718*50# to join now. Ghana Grows. Hope Day. Ghana Grows is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Limehouse, and other partners.
Did you know that worms take away nutrients from the food you eat? Just listen to them.
Brothers, yesterday the food nice, huh?
Oh yeah, the trouble woman there. She did try wa.
Charlie, something come on. It be food.
It did taste like banana.
Make a taste some. Make me try a taste. Make a taste. Hey, something is doing me.
Something is doing me too.
Oh, it be Vermox.
Vermox banana flavored dewormer is available in both suspension and tablet and is suitable for children and adults. It's good for you, bad for worms. Not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Agribusiness Bank is for all. We've got what you need for your business and family. Whatever you need, you can count and call on us. Agribusiness Bank. Agribusiness Bank is for all. We are not just another bank. Whatever you need, you can count and call on us. Agribusiness Bank. Agribusiness Bank. Not just another bank.
Gasaba. Smoke from firewood and charcoal is harmful and as damaging to our lungs as cigarettes. It can cause heart diseases leading to stroke and may even affect our eyesight in the long run. Grandmothers, mothers, sisters, wives, men, caterers, and everyone still cooking with charcoal, let's switch to LPG gas. The National Petroleum Authority has introduced the cylinder recirculation model in collaboration with local partners to make gas more accessible in all local communities. Whether you own a cylinder or not, join our CRM initiative. Simply show up at any exchange point near you with a small down payment to receive a filled cylinder or swap your empty one. Regular safety checks will be in place. Say ebisa musemo or gas. Afedie gasaba. Switch from firewood and charcoal to gas for a better and healthier life. This message is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's a cool Friday morning. The morning after the rains at night. Daddy Lumba, DL Charles Kojofosu, Oslo Minyampo. Oh man, we're gonna have an interactive show as always. We do this with you all the time, so we are always happy to hear from you. Look forward to an exhilarating show today. Exciting conversations as always. 0549 986 996. Some of you are celebrating your birthdays. We'll celebrate with you. Your loved ones have shared dedications with us. We'll do that for you. For example, Mrs. Duvon is celebrating her husband, Mr. George Cool Duvon, WO1 at Burma Camp. She says, I wish you an extraordinary birthday filled with everything you love. And she says, I love you. Stay blessed, from Mrs. Duvon. And Lesheho Don't Call Me campaign has come to you because you deserve financial peace. Life comes with financial challenges, but with Lesheho, no, Wunyampo. From now until April 30, 2025, we've reduced our interest rates just for you. Whether it's education, rent, or unexpected expenses, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Simply WhatsApp or call Nana on 0270 040799 or 0270 040733. Let's make life easier together. Act now before the offer ends. T's and C's apply. Let's share, let's improve life. Happy second birthday to our daughter Ohima Nana Abinima Boa. Your birth and life thus far has been a testament of the potency of the Word of God. We are indeed honored and blessed to be called your parents and family. We pray your destiny is aligned perfectly to the grace and will of God. You're a masterpiece. We love and cherish you always. From your father, Mr. Obed Boa, your mother, Mrs. Nana Kwabia Boa, your siblings, Eja and Nana Kusiwa Boa. Now, from planning date nights to making your kids happy with the latest toy and ice cream, these little seeming small things make all the difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start a show where you can fill up on more than just fuel. Fill up on love, laughter, sumptuous bites, and treats from our partner vendors. If you want juicy chicken, we got them. Filling burgers, we got them. Snacks, we got them. And space just to unwind, trust me, we've got it all at Shell. While you're enjoying yourself with your family and friends, your car can also get the love it deserves at the Shell service station and Wash Bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today. Shell go well. And that big conversation. What 55 Ghana cities can get you in this economy? At KFC, it gets you a full burger and a refreshing drink. So why settle for less when you can have it all? KFC burger deal, you can choose between a spicy Zinga burger or the classic kennel burger paired with a cold drink to quench your thirst for only 55 Ghana cedis. Enjoy premium finger licking goodness without breaking the bank. Don't miss out. Head to your nearest KFC today and grab this unbeatable deal. Big flavor, small price only at KFC. Hurry, this offer is available for a limited time only. KFC is finger licking good.
And there's a card for everyone at Zenith Bank. We have a diverse range of cards designed just for you. So whether you're looking for a credit card to help you meet present financial needs, a debit card to have direct access to your funds at all times, or a prepaid card to help you manage your spending, we have the perfect solution. Visit any branch of Zenith Bank nationwide and choose the card that works best for you. Zenith Bank, the bank for all, here for you. Zenith Bank.
In your best interest.
Correct, for 20 points.
All right.
Meanwhile, next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? In Emirates economy, you can enjoy endless entertainment on board, up to 6,500 channels to choose from. Yep, you heard me right. Sit back, relax, and watch the latest Hollywood and Bollywood blockbusters, comedy box sets, and even live sport. You can even stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi, so you can chat with friends and family and share holiday selfies from 40,000 feet above sea level. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com. Now, this app has no fees, banking which gives all the value back to you. No transaction cost, no monthly charges, just great value. Now, we're talking about Affinity. It's all about giving you the right tools to keep your banking simple and help you grow, whether you're starting something new, managing your finances, or just getting through your day-to-day. They are here to make things easier. So dial *229# to get the app, or check out affinityghana.com. With Affinity, you're not just banking, you're in. And GR is announcing that the withholding taxes for February are due today, Friday, 14th March. Now we're talking withholding taxes including VAT deducted from suppliers operating the VAT standard rate, VAT for employment, VAT for payment for supply of goods and raw works or services, or any other withheld taxes. Please make sure you pay today, 14th March, or go to the taxpayerportal.com for more information, or call 0800 900 110.
And happy 70th birthday to Reverend Dr. Alfred Owusu Asante, head pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, Tishinungwe Estate. May the blessings of the Lord continue to enrich you in every way, and may your ministry continue to flourish to the glory of God. Today marks the 60th birthday of one such awesome, hardworking, dedicated, respectful, and down-to-earth transport officer, chief driver I've ever known in my life, in my working lifetime in ECG. Your name is Daniel Okra Boateng, aka Mr. Sefa. I thank God for your life and the 30 years of dedicated service to ECG and Mother Ghana. God bless you with good health and peaceful retirement. Happy 60th anniversary to you, Mr. Sefa. This is coming from Abraham Lincoln of ECG Eastern Region. It's my birthday today, and once again the Lord has looked upon me with mercy. Would love some shout outs on your show today. Okay, you do.
In Beecham Bading, General Manager for Finance. Charlie, you spotted it. So happy birthday to Franklin Beecham Bading, who's the General Manager of Finance.
Oh, Lord.
Hollard Insurance, who were part of the caravan.
Nice
Franklin,
one.
happy birthday to you. Good
Nice
morning
one.
to Mrs. Kate Amwakuhini,
Okay.
an avid listener of the City Breakfast Show, from your sisters
Mm-hmm.
Agatha and Evelyn.
Yes.
And she's been listening to 60 years old and to City Breakfast Show, and she's 50 years old today. So happy birthday to you. Coming in from Evelyn Edu.
Nice.
And Agatha to you, Kate Amwakuhini.
Okay.
Me cut down and me dream responsibility. See me now, so Maswa obi do bana kuma ni case see me three so me mo be around betiti and tell me the be the me ni so do you way oh I never let me jealous me yeah. Cause she love me alone and you know one or two I see yeah. Me so me pray Sarah only you I dey see yeah. Me no see no other girl and them one way I rushing on me yeah. Ba 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 bam bam bang bang. Oh so broche on sape o many into the eye. Oh so broche on sape o many. Oh so broche on sape o many. You and your she me o mama. Say me who and your she me o mama. Say me who and your she gra gra. I wanna make you know, say you be special or that you know be wholesale. My love for you, will it make me wanna take you to the promised land like Moses. They say who say, they never know say, I never listen to no hearsay. They say who say, they never know say, forever together we'll stay. Oh, I tell them say you and me will leave on. See my shoulder, girl, come lean on. Girl, my loving knows no season, it is unconditional, yeah. So if I never met you, what would I say? I saw broche on sabe o many. Into the eye. I saw broche on sabe o many. I saw broche on sabe o many. Send me who and yes she. Send me who and yes she cry. Send me who and yes she. Send me who and yes she cry.
You know, something happened very interesting. Yesterday,
Yeah.
I was at East Legon around 9 p.m. And you know, it had rained for like 30 minutes, probably an hour. All right. And I was surprised. You know, there's this part of East Legon from on the boundary road. There's the name of this eatery. What's the name of this place? People buy food there a lot on the boundary road. From Vidaye Cafe to
Oh, I see that living room.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the place. So if
After the ANC corner.
good,
Yeah.
good. Before you, so basically on the, if you're driving from Vidaye Cafe
Yes.
towards the tunnel,
Yes, you take the right.
Charlie, there's this shop. I think they call it. There's a shop. There's a place they sell clothes. You see a billboard of a man in a suit. All right, the whole place was flooded for like and it was serious. You know, this is what I would say, because of the road, and this is what typically tends to happen when you build a road. You divert the course of water. Definitely, your first test of the quality of engineering done apart from the fact that a road is nice, is whether it leads to unexpected flooding. So I'm not saying this is like deadly flooding that is going to devastate the whole community.
But you didn't expect that area of flood.
So this is what it means. It means that there's a nice, beautiful road, the flower pot interchange or overpass or flyover, but it's reconfigured the drainage in that area. So the whole road was covered with water for a sizable amount of time before we were able to drive through. Yeah. So, and there were a couple of houses and shops on that side, which obviously this morning would have to remove water from their rooms.
Sweeping of water.
It's a low-lying area, and I believe that the buildings because don't forget that all the buildings on so if you're from the tunnel at East Legon, driving all the way on the boundary road, the pharmacies and all those shops, they are typically not supposed to be there. Those buildings.
That was a green belt, was it not?
Yes. So all of those buildings are gone. So when the president inaugurated his flooding task force, and I really wonder how they will work, because there are lots of buildings
that are on waterways
or in green zones or in Ramsar sites. So it's going to be very difficult for them to know where to dredge and where not to dredge.
That's true.
And it's interesting. They announced the committee or the task forces work on
2 days ago.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Thursday give us a reminder. And usually rain starts in May.
Yeah.
And this was a very brief, unexpected rain.
But it was still very heavy.
She too got flooded. So I'm just praying that they work quickly before the real rains come.
Yeah.
This is like a reminder or a warning. A warning.
I imagine now Kaswa will be the road leading to Kaswa.
I hope they do something about it preemptively.
That mudslide that always, characterizes rains.
But yesterday it rained in the whole country.
I feel so.
I was on a platform.
Yeah.
I'm on one of these platforms where I don't know how they put me there, but I'm there anyway.
So, before you know, now you're on some platform.
And on this platform, people usually report when or where it's raining.
Okay.
I think yesterday's rain fell everywhere because Zuarungu had rain, Dodowa had rain, thunder and rainstorm in Weija.
Yeah, Kalio, Upper West, there was rains there. Amasaman, Airport Residential, La Paz, New Boy Town.
Otinibi had rain.
Otinibi, their roads how are their roads doing now? Because
Kwabinya had rain. Domi Pilatu had rain. So basically, people on the platform it rained heavily in Tema.
Kaswa Nyenya, Kakraba, there was rain.
It rained in Wa.
Yeah.
So
Adan also recorded some rains with thunderstorms.
Yeah. So we don't know what's happening, but we know that, as we've said on this program before, the rains in Ghana are the quality check for everything. For the quality of your agriculture, for the quality of your roads,
electricity supply,
quality of your drainage. So the rain is what will test the fortitude of your system.
True.
So the task force to help deal with flooding, we wish you well, because it looks like this year the rains will be more.
Yes, in fact, the Ghana Met said that from March to June, yes, we should expect like really heavy rains. And so that is something that the task force should be looking at. When you do the Jolu, in fact, so the lights, the rains means that lights go off in some places. And so that meant that this morning at the Jolu traffic light, it was not functioning. And then when you drive down, there is a drain that connects both sides before you get to the Royal Habits. There's a main drain there. I think the rains chipped off parts of the edges of the bridge, and then it's also littered the road. So the other thing is because the drains are often choked, then the litter
I think yesterday
spill onto the road.
I think there was some wind as well. So there was quite a bit of refuse on roads
all over the place.
Anyway, so this is not really my main thing. Just to say that we need to start getting ready for the usual stories. If you do this work for a bit, there are some things that come up every time. So in May, I can tell you that a day in June, there's going to be rains, and then Graphic will do a story and say, Accra flooded after 2 hours of rain. Then Kanishi first light. Like, there are some stories that never change, So it's just something that we have to work on. It's just something that we have to work on.
Yeah.
But I'm told that in some places it didn't work. Well, for me, the platform I'm on, people said it rained in the places you are saying it didn't rain.
Yeah, Koforidua, for example, I had heard
it didn't rain.
No, I thought it rained there. That's what I heard. But
so what are your listeners saying?
Well, a number of comments are here. Liz from Kufrida says it didn't rain there, but so someone from Kumo from Medina says, please, my place, it didn't rain at Sasabi. It was just the wind that blew.
Your own is coming.
Okay. Look forward to it. Bernard, Ashaman Underbridge was flooded heavily yesterday after the rainfall. A taxi driver assumed he could pass. He got stuck in the middle. No car could pass there. Ashaman Underbridge. That's interesting. Please.
The other problem is that because there are a lot of road constructions going on, as the rains come, it's going to make things more difficult. So usually it's better to have the rains in the dry season. And by the way, Freeman is joining us. I just wanted to ask you, you've been on the Heritage Caravan for a few years now. I suspect you do it in March because you don't want to do it whilst it rains. Because usually March is pre-rain.
Yeah.
Because some of the roads you use, if you go in the rainy season, you'll
be disastrous.
This is the first time you use the Eastern Corridor route.
Yeah.
Is this your first time you've used that route yourself?
Yes.
Oh, for a whole Utah person. I'm surprised.
No, with Utah, we did a lot of communities in the south.
Okay, you've never done the Eastern Corridor like that?
Not like that. So, and we also did parts of northern Ghana, but there are certain places that you really need to plan properly that I'm going there before. Yeah.
Let me put you on the spot. So you've been on a caravan for 5 or 6 times, right? What things have changed and then what things have not changed based on, I'm talking about what you see on the road in Ghana. What about the country has changed for you in a good way? And then what never changes? Are you able to tell?
I think in terms of infrastructure, we have some hotels that are on their own improving in terms of service that you get from them is getting better with time.
Okay.
But in terms of the investment from government side, you've not really seen so much. Yeah.
So which hotels have improved?
Well, I'll give it to Modern City. We've had issues with Modern City before, but in recent times.
Are they the largest hotel in Tamale?
Yes.
And they've improved?
In terms of service, Modern City has improved because I remember even just last week when we were there, the way they were paying attention to details, their readiness to serve, their swiftness, it was quite commendable. In the times they've really done
That's okay. So some of
the year they did that's the year I was on.
Exactly.
So that's the memory I have for them.
Yeah.
So you're saying some hotels have improved.
Yes.
Anything else that has changed? Noda. What is Noda? Where is Noda?
Noda in Ashanti region.
Yeah.
Where in Kumasi are they?
On the Ejisu Road. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Noda
on the outskirts. They've improved.
Noda has improved.
Amazing.
Improved tremendously.
So those are 2 things that have changed positively for you.
Yes.
Did you we've complained about lack of rest stops. Did you see any attempt to put up any more rest stops?
Nothing.
Still none.
Nothing. And for me, this year we had a lot of foreigners on the trip. That's not to say that Ghanaians don't matter.
Yeah.
But if we are packaging our stories to tell the world, these are things that we need to pay attention to, because some of these people come in, they are going to be great ambassadors for the country. And sometimes it's not about what you put in proposals. It is the
what is on the ground?
Basic things that people come. The basic things that people come, they are not investors, they are not people if invited, they are nobody, they just want to come know Ghana for what Ghana is. And these are the people who will give you the genuine feedback.
So you're saying that they were a bit shocked about the lack of rest stops?
Some people were a bit shocked about.
So I don't understand. Is it that the filling stations are not evenly distributed? Because I think that you can have when I'm in advanced countries, usually the rest stops are places where you can buy food, you can buy fuel.
Yeah.
So how come our filling stations are not that evenly distributed? So you can drive like 2 hours and not have any filling station? Or is it that the filling stations don't have toilet facilities or what?
It depends. I think some of these areas are also looking at patronage. So you put, for instance, if you're in Accra, it's easier because people would look out for the mats and stuff like that.
So there are vast places where there's nobody. So you can't put anything there.
People are not there. So if you are putting up maybe market, restaurants, stuff like that,
nobody's going to pass there for,
level of
for 3 hours.
Be like, but I think if we are particular about tourism, we need to be deliberate about some of these things and look at some areas that people normally would passed because there are
So let me ask you, when you were on the Eastern Corridor stretch from, say, Hohwe to Yendi, did you have any, what was the distribution of filling stations? Not that many?
Not that many. Not that
so
many.
You are just seeing bush and villages?
Pretty much.
Villages and bushes in Kwara, nothing?
Yeah, nothing. And some of these areas, you're also not sure, even when people want to stop, you know, you are not too...
Is it the place to stop or not?
Exactly.
Can we stop here?
Can we stop here? Is it safe to stop
Were
here?
there road mark? Were there signage of where you are? Like, what I mean, like you see, you are entering Kofri.
Yeah.
You could see that. So every time you knew where you were.
We knew where we were. Yeah. That great job has been done, so you know exactly where you are going. So
that could be one of the improvements.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. You know.
So what has not changed for you?
Well, so you move around, and still, for me, I think that with years of talking about even Heritage Caravan as an example of a tourism product, you know, we give feedback a lot. For me, I think some of these areas, I mean, the rest stops should be one. Decent places people can eat should also be another reason, because if you are trying to drive traffic to certain areas, these are basic things that people want to know. Accommodation. So we all are telling people visit northern areas. So if somebody wants to go to Paga Crocodile Pond and they are coming all the way from Accra, they don't know anybody there, where are they going to sleep? These are not areas that you can just decide to go and return.
So it means that there are some regions where you don't have hotels that can accommodate 150 people.
I mean, that one, a lot of regions.
So for example, in OT region, is there, if you had wanted to sleep in OT region, is there a big enough hotel that you could have comfortably accommodated the people?
I doubt.
What about Western North? Are there large hotels that can accommodate, or you know?
When you move from the major cities in
Accra,
Kumasi, Takoradi,
Tamale,
you then know the real Ghana. You realize that, look, we sit back here and sometimes you get upset, but when you have a proper appreciation of how the country really is, I think our conversations will change. Because you get in certain areas and you need about 3 hotels.
To just
host 180 people.
And some of the hotels may not have dealt with even more than 50 people at a stretch to know how to organize themselves to accommodate
certain restaurants, certain rest stops. You get there and they're overwhelmed. They've not seen like 100 people together like buying food before.
So the waiter is confused. The lady's telling the thing.
The manager is confused. Waiters are confused. Everybody is confused. You need to step in. So it also tells of the kind of service and the training that we are giving people who are manning some of these facilities.
But you know, my challenge is that I have been done too much tourism, but I'm told that when you go to countries like Kenya and the East Africa, they are very aware of the tourism, so they are well trained to receive visitors. A lot of the waiters are polite, they speak more than one language. Generally, the hospitality sector in some of those East African countries is aware of international patronage, and therefore they are not surprised. In Ghana, most of our hotel people speak only English. But in certain places, they even speak more than one language, and they are more accommodative to foreigners.
Bernard, because they are deliberate about what they want to do. They are packaging whatever they have. Look, certain African countries don't have what Ghana has.
Okay.
But they are very, very deliberate about what
to make
they
more
want
noise,
to
and
do.
they really boast more than us.
Look, I went to Mauritius and I sat back and asked myself, but why did I come here?
You bought the hype.
And it worked.
It
worked. Look, we just need to do little things.
Yeah.
Keep the country clean. Okay.
Did you see a lot of baller on the road?
No.
Okay.
No. But I showed that the tour guide who was with me, I showed him 10 beach resorts in Ghana. And the guy asked me, but then why did you come here? No, because they've been able to package their
Why did you come to Ghana, Mauritius, when you have 10 beach resorts?
Exactly. Their service is super great.
Yeah.
Here we leave things for people's understanding.
Yeah.
So you go to certain places and whoever is attending to you feels they are doing you a certain service.
Anyway, no, but my feeling is that tourism depends on other sectors. So for example, if you don't have people moving to a place a lot, if I set up a tourist facility in a place, it will be in a Siberia. So you need a certain level of development around. You see, so for example, Bosomchi will get more people because Kumasi is not too far away. And so if I go to Kumasi for a funeral on Thursday, I could stay and do 2 days in Bosomchi. But if you put something in a place which the only traffic is funeral traffic, and the traffic is not that much, so to develop the country, it's not just a tourism point. It's also like businesses, factories, and things. Do you get it? Because if you go to a place like Krachi in Chumuru, what is there?
Yeah.
You get it? What are you going to do there what am I going to do there in my life if it's not for some funeral of a relative or a friend? You get it? So maybe we should not blame the tourism pool alone, but that the country must think of nodes of development. Do you get it? So if, for example, you have a big industry in Tamale, then it can absorb the other areas so that then Mole National Park can become more useful, because if there's business traffic in Tamale, then they can say, let's spend 2 more days in Mole. But if you understand, if it's not a tourism alone, it's the other things that make the tourism work. Or
we just need to agree as a people what we want to do and move towards that.
Thomas, what do you think of what I'm saying? That it's not just the tourism.
You made a point. Let me just escalate it. You know, tourism, especially in a third world country, is too important to be left in the hands of a certain tourism ministry. It's way too important to be confined to a ministry. That's the point I'm making. It is something that requires the energies and the directions of national leadership. You understand? I mean, there are different forms of tourism. Okay. Now, the worst thing about tourism for any country is to try and blindly copy another country and how they express their tourism experience. You understand? Tourism is hidden in stories and history. Nobody can replicate our history because it's unique to us. Okay. Now, the point Frema is making is to if you like, reiterate the fact that we have a better opportunity at upping our game in tourism. I mean, we've done something.
So we shouldn't lose that.
Yes, you know, last time I was using an Uber in London, and the driver kept asking me, so what is there in Ghana that everybody is going to Ghana in December?
That's what the driver asked.
Yes.
Hey, and we are
he said, but what is it? Because he plies the Heathrow Gatwick route. So he said December is his busiest. Everybody is going to Ghana. So he's trying to put money together, but he doesn't.
Where is he from?
I think he's from the islands somewhere. He doesn't know anybody in Ghana, so he doesn't get. But everybody.
Your number.
So what the point I'm making is that we have made gains in certain areas. You understand? But is that the capacity? What's the potential? And it's there. Historical tourism is there. Experiential tourism, entertainment tourism. Now we are going to cultural. You understand? Now we talked about this before. Food tourism. You get me? I mean, as for cultural, we can't even run out. We can't run out.
We're diverse.
Extremely. We are so diverse and yet unique.
Very much so.
You understand? And I this year on the caravan, I took particular notice of the dance forms. I'm telling you, from Volta through Northern Yendi, through Bogatanga, and then come to Asante, and then to Fanti, you know. And I'm like, so I started, in fact, I started talking about Ladysmith Black Mambazo in South Africa and how they started in a church, a small group, and now they are so simple. And we, look, technically or artistically, we have better groups in Ghana.
So what's the problem? We haven't put it together. We haven't packaged it.
We haven't packaged it. And we haven't sold it. You understand? People have the cultural elements. They can dance and do all the expressions, but they are not packaged properly.
Do you think there's a local market for this?
Oh,
or this is more for
major. No. I don't even
locals
get
are interested.
I'm telling you that there's a local market for it. If yes,
the Ghanaians like the Ghanaians. They only go for funerals. So.
No, Ghanaians. Have you seen Ghanaians go for funeral and everybody's eyes gazed at the person dancing at the funeral?
But they went because of the funeral. They didn't go because
the funeral
of the
attracted them, but something sustained them.
This one
but Bernard,
a typical Samens or Frema or Caleb working in certain countries, when you go on leave, you travel.
Yeah.
The only time you travel is for funeral. You don't deliberately. I'm coming. So you people, Ghanaians generally.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about local tourism, and I'm trying to say also that maybe we need to do the demand side.
Yeah.
The supply side means there are events, there are programs, but I feel like a lot of people don't deliberately, generally. When I was in the US,
just define the point.
I'm coming. When I was in the US, give me 2 seconds. The Americans visit their sites in droves.
Yeah.
Yes.
In numbers. Like I went to a zoo, San Diego Zoo, and I was like, what's going on here? Like a Saturday, the whole town is here. There are things happening, people are going. And it wasn't a special location, it was just a Saturday.
Yeah.
In Ghana, maybe Christmas will do something. Easter, but I don't feel like people maybe because they can't afford it, or they have not been cultured to travel.
Yeah.
So it's not that, and I'm coming to a point. You see, you cannot develop tourism on the supply side if demand doesn't exist. It's like you can't build a shop if people are not eating.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So and I'm saying a lot of times our discussions on tourism focus on the supply side. What are the tourist companies doing? Are they building good roads? Are they having? But I'm saying that if you want tourism to grow, the mindset of people must be that we want to chill or we want to talk. Then somebody can build something to respond to it. But they put themselves, they don't want to do tourism.
I'm saying that
they are not doing it.
Let's not box everything about tourism and reduce it to site tourism alone. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
And then you see, because for instance, if you go to Kenya, the kind of tourism they have there, we can't match them. Yeah. Because our natural circumstances will not is not favorable.
So what kind of tourism do Ghanaians like?
No, not even like. What's the potential? Where is our potential?
So yes,
I'm
so
saying
that's the
that
question.
Historical storytelling, our past, how we are connected to Africa.
For locals or for foreigners?
No, for everybody. For everybody.
So Ghanaians are interested in historical?
You have been telling stories with Kweku Dakwankra.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback do you get? Is it only from foreigners?
They like it.
That's the point I'm making.
But will it make them go to Cape Coast?
No. It has to be developed. That's why I started by saying that this tourism thing is too important and the potential is so huge that it cannot be left in the hands of a ministry.
You know, but Bernard, even with the funeral thing you mentioned, granted, we love funerals. Why are we not even packaging it? Because the way we handle our funerals and stuff like
it's very different.
It's very different. Now with let's look at even our festivals. People now, local people now travel to their community, their back home, just to be part of festivals. How we used to see our festivals have changed.
To be fair, the festivals are doing better with the way they are partnering with sponsors and media.
Exactly.
But this is what I'm trying to say. If people don't patronize their own historical sites or their own festivals or their own aesthetic sites, you cannot develop an industry, because there has to be interest and commitment by people to want to do it. If you look at the top 10 list of tourist sites in Ghana, it was a friend saying Brig Gardens was number 1, was it not?
Yeah.
And then Kakum was number 2.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest were 1 or 2. A lot of Ghanaians have not deliberately.
Hold your thoughts. I agree with you, but in tourism, the product design comes first, or the service design comes first. People don't just generate interest because they want to generate interest. For instance, do you know the potential of the Osu Castle as it is now for tourism?
So it has to be created.
Why would anybody want to use that place as an office? Are we okay?
Where to?
Office for what?
I get that. So for example, the Kwame Nkrumah Museum, you're right. When they built it, people went.
Yes.
So you create it and they will come.
Exactly.
But I'm also saying, so both can be true. Both facts can coexist. Your point is true that if you create it, like if you didn't create Heritage Caravan, people will not come.
Exactly.
So it has to be created and not left to just government. But I'm also saying that part of what we create is to let people have the expectation and the knowledge that, you know, you have to chop your money on travel small. You know, you have to, like, it's like, people don't, Ghanaians don't invest in leisure. We are too.
No, but I think that is
what I mean is that they don't travel, they don't go anywhere.
Where should they go?
So
let me cite one just simple example.
When people take leave in this company, where do they go? They just stay home.
No, they stay home.
Or they go and watch Festival of
home.
Nights.
No, they stay home
travel.
because we have not been cultured.
That's what I'm saying.
That's one.
We should
culture.
culture
We have
the
not
people.
been cultured because we have not crafted the destinations and the experiences.
But you've done that for 6 years. You've done.
That's why we are always oversold.
You've pushed a lot of
Give you
these.
one simple example.
Give me.
Do you know the London Dungeon? I will never stop talking about this thing.
Where is that?
It's a London Bridge.
Oh, as in London.
Yes.
I thought you mean London. Nding.
London Dungeon.
Okay.
Look, for me, I think is the craziest thing that people pay their money to. Some under there.
Wheel thing?
No.
Not
That's
the
London Eye.
lie. Not the eye.
You see, the London Dungeon. It is a creation just to tell the story of the London in the 14th century thing. They have just created the thing for you to experience it. And Bernard, if you pass through London Dungeon, you go through 15 minutes, you pay 70 to 90 pounds.
And to go and watch
at all times there's a queue.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that if we don't craft and design our stories, you can't attract
So you're saying that somebody has to create the experience for people to respond.
Yes.
Because people cannot of their own self just get up and say, I want to travel.
Exactly.
If there's nothing to...
You see, you talk about travel, which is one aspect of tourism.
Domestic travel around
Tell
there.
me, I'll come back to this point.
Yeah.
We lived in the 70s and the 80s with about 20 coup d'etats.
Hey,
and in the process of the coup d'etats...
Plenty. It was plenty, but not 20.
I am telling you. I'm not talking about those ones that succeeded.
No, okay, attempts.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it's...
So I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
We heard of Gonda Barracks.
Yeah.
We heard of Arakan Barracks, the seat of government for Kutu Achampo. We heard of so and so and so. Who is telling the story?
Would that work?
Papa.
Why won't it work?
Papa.
If we craft it and look, the last time we went to Menchia Palace, how many buses were in the queue just
waiting.
to tour around Menchia?
Papa.
Are you saying that if somebody, let me finish, if the tourism people say that let's create our story so that it will be told to the next generation, school children, pay just one cedi and go and experience Gonda Barracks or Arakan Barracks. Do you know the queue you are going to create? I'm just saying, I'm just giving this as an example. But there are plenty stories. So if we don't tell our stories, you'll be there. No, some white man will come and write a book and go and launch it at London School of whatever, and make money.
Papa, what I'm even asking is, today, if you want Nanam Pedu's first album, where will you go?
YouTube.
Can you imagine?
Why don't we don't even have a proper library or museum where we can just CD.
So are you guys really sure that when you build it, Ghanaians will come?
They will come.
Oh, yes.
But which people are we using for the December? The December in GH.
Let's ask the people that even the ones that we've put together, how many of them have tried to patronize?
Because you see,
when you look at the tourism numbers that were sent to us, I think 2024, I think June, they were talking about the most visited places. Okay. Fine, but I think that there's a lot more. Like there's more to be. Like more people can do it. It's too few.
But let me ask you a question now.
It's too small.
So today, this weekend,
Yeah.
if you want to visit Mole National Park or Paga Crocodile Pond with your children, where would you start from?
Because there's no package.
That is the whole issue.
There's no package.
So we need, as a people, to be deliberate to say that this is what we want to do.
So
if you're on your own,
okay, let's take our time. You're saying if somebody comes up with a business proposition, the demand is there. I'm also saying that
to start from the
top. It has to be
the policy has to be driven
exactly
intentionally.
It has to be a deliberate move that we are promoting tourism. So transport is one, accommodation is another issue, access to roads another issue,
Services.
Security is another issue.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, if I'm not on Heritage Caravan, but I want to take my children and go to Paga Crocodile Pond, where's the information? I don't even know where to go and take Paga car.
So you are giving me some good ideas. So for example, you are saying that, I used to do Visit Volta.
Yeah.
You could say they should create a 4-weekend experience to say you are going to visit all their mountains and all those things.
Yes.
Come, get an airline and try and see if you can get a package, and then register people for 3 weeks to say are you prepared to fly to Ho and then visit the main tourism sites for 4 weeks, pass through some hotels and eat food at the right price? So but you see that investment, for that investment to come, there has to be some policy to support it. And some of the policy is transportation, some of it is obviously hospitality, and some of it is just financial.
And some is land ownership.
So what I'm trying to say is that who starts this process?
Oga at the top.
Yeah.
It has to be a government deliberate effort.
So is a ministerial commitment enough? So let's assume
that's a good place to
start. So you can
from.
say to the minister that, okay, we believe that you can use tourism to stimulate visits to one region, like Volta or Bono region. So do they put a committee together? How do you solve this? I'm just thinking aloud. How do you use this, what we are saying here, to say, okay, let's try and get more people to visit the Volta region, as an example, to visit their because they have Blue Waterfalls there. There's some monkey sanctuary and some things, and then link it to the airport that's standing there and nobody's doing anything with. So if maybe they can package people to fly there or something.
You know when we're doing the December in GH. And Ghana Beyond Aid and Beyond Ghana and all these things, it was a deliberate move that we are going to be driving traffic. And then we gave it to the ministry, and then eventually GTA had to drive that thing. So it was a proper plan. That this is what we are doing. So maybe for the next 3 years, for the next 4 years, this is where we want to go. We want to make Ghana a tourism destination. We all agree. So now, Transport Ministry, this is what you have to do. Make sure that there's access. If I carry myself, we don't even need to go in groups. If I get up today and I say that I want to carry my children or me and my colleagues at work, we want to this weekend visit Volta region. We don't need a hotel to now give us a package. We should be able to know that.
But what I'm trying to push is that there has to be certain things the government puts in place for the business case to be strong. Because if you are going to organize this Volta thing I said, you will need some help.
Exactly.
Because you will lose money. We needed, look, if we cost the heritage caravan, it's not profitable. Do you know what I mean? Do you know why it's not profitable? Because 30 of my staff were away for a week. Some of them have not come back to work because they are too tired. I spent probably 30% of my airtime pushing it. In terms of organizing it, a lot of things had to. So if I put cost to the caravan plus the nuisance and all the things I've had to go through, it's not profitable.
No.
Okay, and this is a major radio station and TV brand organizing it. So what I'm trying to drive at is that if the government doesn't do some heavy lifting of certain things, there's no way tourism will develop. Because a lot of people say tourism is a low-hanging fruit. It cannot be a low-hanging fruit if you don't create the space. Who's going to bring money to organize that tour? So what happens is that we have small tour companies. Weekend, we have a bus at Akram. We take 15 people, but that cannot change anything. If you want to have like Kwewu or Volta or Mole kind of visit of maybe 200 people, 1,000 people, which is what is going to change an economy. This is my problem with Ghana. We don't think in coordinated terms. Everybody's silo mentality. We the tourism people will do this. We the transport people will do this. But you cannot really transform anything if there is no coordination among. You've built an airport in Ho. It's just lying there. They say they want to do an aircraft flying school. Some came and told that who is the cleanest city he's been to. He said the Volta region is the neatest region he's gone to. We are told that there are so many tourist sites in that region. There are many people who live in Accra from the Volta region who have never gone to their hometown before. Clearly, somebody can do something to link it, but I think it takes too much difficult, hard work that nobody wants to do. Everybody wants to do PR. Everybody wants to come on air to say that everything is going well. But real change does not happen with PR. Okay, so I want to urge the new tourism minister to take a cue from the Heritage Caravan to say, look, bring people together in a room. Let me give you a last example. When I was, the reason, do you know why I became a Volta ambassador? AGI in OT, Eastern and Volta, met with the regional minister. And then the tourism authority of the Volta region said they are going to create a Visit Volta thing. They worked with hotels. They said we're focused on 3 issues: agribusiness, ICT, and something. So they had farms that we had to visit. There were people who were doing. So it was a whole thing. Right? And then they planned it for like 6 months.
Exactly.
And the government, the minister was driving it. Now, I feel like that kind of leadership is what you need to drive.
Exactly. At least we have an example.
Yes, that kind of, and the truth is that it costs money, it costs time, and it may not necessarily generate the results the first year. The problem in Ghana is that our political economy has become so quick at trying to show results that people are not prepared to do things that really bring change. Don't happen in a week or a year or it doesn't happen on television. Time. And I think that the public must also manage their expectations around what is real change. Don't just go and build an airport and leave it there.
Yeah.
Link it to local economy. There has to be more deep thinking.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I feel like this caravan gives me the authority to say what I'm saying because we had to bend over backwards to make it happen. I was even asking myself, is it even worth doing it another time? Because my PA is not back at work. He said we should give him light soup to drink.
I tell you, Charlie.
Because Charlie, this Charlie, 30 staff, including about 6 managers.
Good morning.
To just and look, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to say that it has
the effort it takes.
And I think we are doing it because the passion is there. We've done this job for a long time. If we don't do something that stimulates, that gets boring. Yeah. I can't just come on and be talking every day. We need to do something that is meaningful. But Charlie, to do something meaningful, you need thinkers who are prepared to take a chance. Exactly. And I also want to urge the private sector. You see, private sector, to deepen anything, I want to commend people who sponsor the caravan. You get it. And I'm happy that some of the managers and decision makers actually came on to see it for themselves. Because to put money on something that is just 6 days or 7 days, such a grueling experience which opens the eye, we need more of this to happen in the country. I'm sure there are some people who are saying that if we do more, they will come. Caleb, let's hear from
Bernard,
them.
we have a lot of messages on this particular conversation. Good morning, CBS. Ghana's approach to culture and its historical antecedents seem misaligned with our national priorities. Are we truly harnessing the power of our cultural heritage to drive national development? One key question that needs addressing: what is the true purpose of the National Commission on Culture? Is it fulfilling its mandate, or has it become just another institution with little impact? Tourism thrives on the foundation of culture, yet in Ghana, it sometimes feels like we are getting it backward. Shouldn't we be investing and preserving our cultural identity first so that tourism naturally flows? Instead of treating culture as an afterthought, how can we make it the driving force behind our tourism strategy? Let's have this conversation. What are we missing and how can we do better? You didn't add your name. Now, on our scale of preference, tourism is the least. Our salary is not much. Huge percentage of it goes into transport, rent, and you are left with little for food. Why do you think of tourism, Mr. Bernard?
Well, because life is not just about eating and drinking. Life is also about experiences. Because sometimes having a full life is not just having a full stomach. It's also having experience of places.
Having a full life is not just about having a full stomach.
So, and I'm not downplaying the issue of no food or prioritize, but I'm saying that, education, sometimes driving your kids up the hill to a brie just to go and see some places is better than spending 3 days reading a book. Because we have to change the way we organize ourselves around what is growth and what is knowledge. The knowledge I got on the caravan, I can't get it in 100 books.
Right.
Just by going to the place.
Yeah.
So we need to prioritize.
And we should
prioritize.
Samesa said it, but we should not also think tourism of just traveling. It is not just our food, our music, our storytelling. We shouldn't just lose sight of that.
We should experience them all. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning.
If you have been to Cuba before and ever visited the Museum Ernesto Che Guevara, you will love it. They have the bowl he eats in.
Che Guevara?
Yeah. The military uniform he wore.
Correct.
The jotter he wrote his thoughts and ideas in. My brother, you will love it.
Wow.
Even for bullets on the walls of their parliament house when Commandant Fidel Castro staged the coup d'etat are still visible.
So they have created an experience out of their history in a way that is very interesting.
Salt pond.
What? The castle, then they say it's an office for some people.
Papa, Salt pond. Kwame Nkrumah had an office in Salt pond.
Yeah.
You go to Salt pond today, that home, somebody lives, it is somebody's house. Somebody is living, then they tell you that this is where Kwame Nkrumah sat and this was his office. I have
a quick point on that. In some countries, what they do is that the state takes over certain buildings of historical significance and pays you off. All right. So I remember I was in a particular house in a friend's in the Midlands, and they said this house is being marked a heritage house. Yeah. It means that eventually you have to leave it because they believe that it's part of the preserving of the history of that town. Exactly. So, for example, these places that you mentioned, the government should be able to find a way of negotiating with the local owners that this is beyond your family. Yes. So we'll give you something else whilst we recreate this because this is a problem. Most of the history Kuku Akwankra is saying is just oral. People have to find ways of interacting with the history.
And we are losing all that.
Yes. So, and people without a history have no future. So we need to take this beyond the point of just sentimentalism. If you cannot make people's history tangible to them, I worry for our kids because our language they can't speak. Now, if they can't even have a way of relating with our past, anybody can come and take them anywhere. You get it? So this issue of cultural tourism should be seen as a national preservation thing. It's not just a question of we don't have money to do it.
Right.
Most of us, our kids, they are speaking only English. They don't go to their hometowns. Now, there's nothing they can relate with except a book written by F.K. Bua. And that book begins from when Don Diego de Azumbaja came to Ghana. You get it? It's a very serious
yes. This is the history
if people don't know. So it should be a national priority for our history to be curated and preserved in a way that even makes us have a real sense of who we are as a people. Exactly. That is not partisan. This is a very serious issue. Yeah. To have just Kwame Nkrumah's old house, and you didn't go to Nzeluzu, you didn't go to Nzeluzu, the other one, his hometown,
Nkrofo.
I even think we can do better with that place.
So much.
You know the house that his hometown, his house,
and his mother's
where
house.
he was born.
We have. It's underwhelming. It's underwhelming.
The river that had the fish.
Yeah, that is step on the fish.
It's underwhelming.
But you see, so you visit some of these areas, and quite honestly, you get sad.
Yeah.
Okay, because Sokon is an area of so much political history.
Yep.
But today, what is there? You go there, people live in there. You even want to visit the home. You have to go and beg somebody because now it's my house.
The worst part.
Because somebody's house.
Tourism, for me, I repeat, is low-hanging fruit. And even in trying to craft the tourism experience or the tourism product, you start from the things that come naturally to you.
Mm-hmm.
Your stories, your natural features, your culture.
True.
You understand?
True.
Ghana is one of 3 or 4 African countries, or maybe the West African countries, that are heavy on festivals.
Yep.
That are heavy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, and there's another one. Heavy on festivals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are we not using policy to drive our festivals, package and promote it as a destination? Why not?
For example, festival calendar, where you can say January, February.
No, they do.
I'm saying that which is properly promoted.
Yes.
So that you can have travel into the country.
Exactly.
In our main entry, like you can say that if you want to do Ghana in March, these are the festivals. If you want to do Ghana in May, these are the festivals. And then the festivals are also standardized in a way. So this is the other thing, Samins.
Kofi has a book on festivals.
Samins, we need to do something about. You see, you said something about local ownership of tourist sites. Sometimes, if you want to develop an industry, we, the owners of those products, have to also allow a certain level of state involvement or standardization of either a tourist, because a lot of times people want to do things their own way and it remains very small.
Yeah.
You get it? If you want
is a typical example.
Yeah, if you want people to patronize your thing, you have to allow for the state to make it better. Or some investor, not even the state. You get it? But you say the thing is for us, we won't leave the thing, then you will
control over the
you see the thing. So if you don't,
if you have in Nzulezu,
where
the
house
on the stilt, we have some in Lagos.
Yeah,
we have some in Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
You should go and see how developed that place.
Are people visiting it in Lagos?
People visit. They even have hotels there.
Wow.
And they have proper boats. You know the boats we used at Maha.
Is this Lagos Island?
Boats. Not sure. Not in the heart of Lagos, but there's somewhere you have to travel. On the river somewhere. And it's relatively developed. They even have hotels. I mean motels or whatever, but places that you can sleep.
Yeah.
But here, the locals have seized it. It is for us. fine, it's for you. But the fact that you own it doesn't mean you have what it takes to run it efficiently or effectively.
So we need some kind of leadership that can partner. I think that's a very critical point, because
everything we are saying here, all of us, everything we are saying here, the people at GTA, they know more than what we are saying.
It's true.
They know. Mr. Anani is here and his team, they know everything already. The only thing is that the leadership at the top hasn't shown an overarching interest in driving tourism like we have done to cocoa. See, John Mahama came. The first thing he did was, there's so much galamsey which is bringing us money. Howbeit, most of it is being done the wrong way. So what do? I set up an institution called Gold Board. Because he's trying to show leadership in that area to redirect our resources. But as for tourism, everybody thinks that, people should go and visit. Every tourism minister comes, one of the major things they do, they travel for tourism programs elsewhere.
Meanwhile, we are supposed to attract people here.
Every tourism minister, look at their calendar. They go to Germany, they go to Europe, they go to this, every day. Their conferences.
Meanwhile, the demand, and you see, culturally, whether it's music or food, you notice that Europe is flat. People are looking for, that's why all these big Nigerian artists are growing. So generally what's happening is that the Western world needs, because we have the rhythm, we have the, like, if you do something,
diversity.
Which is why I'm surprised that sometimes when they do these awards, then we are looking for an African category. The African is at the center now. People are looking for our content. Okay, so you are right, you don't need to go to Vienna for a conference on tourism in Africa. But do you know why? It's for two reasons. I think that there's a leadership problem. Okay, and I'll give you an example. So they've made Akwesida pretty big now. So now you notice that when Akwesida is happening, I have friends in the UK who companies come and want to associate with it because they've made it big. Of course, the Asantes are big. Otumfuo is big, so it has that pulling power. But I think that if we can all we can have similar large size attractions.
Did you hear yourself? You said Otumfuo is big.
Yes.
But even the Otumfuo, he's had to redesign the whole Ashanti offering since he's been here.
So you're right. So it's not like
he's made it more attractive.
So it's not just a few people around Mensha who are managing it. So it's become much bigger.
Yes.
So the more media and Kumasi are taking part, like there's a whole group around the Akwesida that makes it a thing that you all have to attend.
Exactly.
And I think that, for example, you are talking about the uniqueness of our dance features and forms. If government can start by saying, I'm picking 1 or 2 festivals per region as anchor festivals to attract.
Thank you very much.
To attract visit. And we start with our own people. So maybe in Volta you can say, let's take Hubechocho and Asogli Yam as 2.
Yes.
Okay. Then you pick. You can
even
tell the regional people to choose, and they can even rotate it. So you can say that for each year, this year is the turn of Hubechocho. So next year it will be. Do you understand? You can do it a cycle.
Exactly.
Now, I'll give you an example. I went to the UK and they had something they call Hall the City of Culture. The next year it was Coventry. What was the plan? They were saying there are some cities that are dying. So this year we are bringing everything to Hall. Hall is a dead end. If you sit on a train to Hall, it doesn't go anywhere. But that year they had festivals. In fact, Rocky Dauni was performing in Hall. Why? They realized that they needed to attract some traffic to Hall, so they brought some old plain Part B and put it in the city center. And then they made everybody come to Hall as the city of culture for the year. So it was rotating. So the idea is to say, okay, if you take this region, this festival can be the anchor festival for the year that we are all going to push, so that it attracts, do you understand? So that it doesn't look like anybody's excluded, but you create some buzz around it. You give it some government support, and then people can go and watch. Because I would love to go and see what happens in the Western region. I'd like to see what happens in another region. But I think that the leadership required, the problem in Ghana is that everybody's looking at the president, because most of the political system, if you want to do something too much, they'll say, Henry Cote, you are rushing too much, they'll pull you down. So there's a basic leadership problem in Ghana where everybody's looking over their shoulder. Even this CEO's thing, the SIGA guy had to get the president to come to sort of endorse that, Charlie, we are going to make sure the SOEs work well. So I think the Samen's point around leadership is very critical, that there has to be a certain leadership drive to say, we believe tourism and its concomitant benefits is where we are going. And maybe the president or whoever is in charge can give the impetus by announcing that this year I'm visiting one festival per region.
Right.
And I want to see which festival can give me the best performance.
And you know,
then the
you know,
sponsors will come on
Ghana,
board, the media will come on board, then we are moving.
Ghana has one big advantage that we have in this country is our people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, we are very passionate people. We care so much about where we come from, regardless. So for instance, when the people who organize the Visit Volta approach Bernard, by virtue of the fact that I'm going back home, I'm leading something. Look at the excitement, that it came with. Why are we not taking advantage of the human resource? Why are we not taking advantage of partnering properly with people? Look, if people come to you that, Caleb, we need you to lead a certain charge for Volta Regional ABC, you won't even think about paying me. The mere fact that you have to lead a group, go back home, this is who we are as a people. So let's start from the festivals, let's start from our food, let's start from all these and support individuals and private entities who are also doing these things. We are not competitors. We are also contributing.
Very important. We have a number of messages on the dashboard. Mekomikrom is the song. Hello, Citi team. If you live in a country where the ultimate prize for any competition or the climax of an event is a trip to Dubai, what do you expect? No one is interested in whatever we have. I have been to Dubai. I can tell you on authority that they don't sell other places or countries apart from what they have to their citizens. They consciously psych their people to love their country. Even the CNN and Al Jazeera they watch is specifically tailored to them. Bernard would love to do the tourism, but we are hungry. We have not eaten yet, so if you say we should use the money to go on tour, our wives won't even agree. I say from Takra, they said that through. Alright, good morning, Bernard and team. South Africa has developed the hop on and hop off bus for tourism, where buses are traveling for over 4 hours, where with buses picking you up every 30 minutes with one bus fee paid. Okay, we have so many castles and forts, 20 buses plying Accra to Takoradi with guests visiting all the tourist sites along the stretch. Buses pick you up from tourist sites every 1 hour after you visit. That won't be bad. David from Adenta. But it seems it's an investment problem, but it befalls on either government, private sector or both. Nevertheless, your discussion this morning is an eye-opener and masterclass on tourism. Kojo Sego from Kpong Katamanso. Guys, the point about Ghanaian tourism is that it's not properly packaged. Take the Kakum National Park for instance. You drive 4 hours from Accra to the park. It's just not okay. You drive 4 hours from Accra and the only experience is the canopy walkway, which I can get from Legon Botanical Park.
They should add things, it's true.
It's just not
But there are a lot of things at Kakum.
Yeah, people visit national parks to see animals and not just to use a canopy walkway. Compare that to the Nairobi National Park, which I visited twice, which I visited 2 years ago. The tour guide made sure I saw 4 of the big 5 in 2 hours and made sure I got my money's worth. We are just not ready to take tourism seriously.
Just a sec. You remember I said that it will be very difficult for us to promote our tourism potential
based on the Kenyan
one. Yeah. Because they are miles ahead because they are resourced and favored in that area.
Right.
They can also not match us if it comes to our historical tourism.
Correct. So we have to focus on what we have. Bernard, I and my wife is deliberately saved towards our vacation here in Ghana. Beginning from January to November, we save 300 Ghana cedis each, and in December we go for our vacation. Bernard, the memories of the trip can be with us till the next vacation.
Lovely.
Good one. Bernard, the small house Adolf Hitler grew up in is still a tourist attraction in Austria, Prince and Achimota. Ben, on the issue of tourism, the church too is part of the reason they have made everything Ghana to be evil. Example being okay, that's the Altus angle. There's an interesting one I've been getting from Femi. He says, good morning, Bernard and team. Thanks for the great programs you run. I've been listening to your radio sessions this morning. All shared about tourism is great. However, since tourism is not independent of several other realities, including the state of our roads after a rainfall, it is mostly those other things: bad roads, trash and rubbish on highways, lack of bathrooms or place of convenience on highways, recklessness of motorbikes and other lawless people wavering through traffic, and under cover of loud sirens, just to name a few, that discourages tourism. No packaging would work without these issues being resolved. Ghana has huge potential, but the worst among us often undermine the best of our intentions. Just my personal worth your thought.
Okay. So, good morning, City. On the issue of tourism, I went to Cape Coast, Cape Town, and this is how they do their tourism. They have all their tourism sites flyer available at the hotel reception. You can choose whichever you want to visit, and there is a van available to pick you up the following day. This is not arranged by the hotel. The driver will pick you up. And maybe if there is another person who has booked you, they will add you to the tour. You will pay for every place you visit yourself, and after all the rounds, you pay the driver also. You can visit as many as you wish during the day. The driver knows all the history, and he will tell you, and you are on the way, as you're on the way to various sites. It's a wonderful experience, Jerry. Send that through.
All right. Now, before we interact with some of our visitors who were on the caravan, just wanted to get a sense of where we are in the month. So, the Heritage Month is in March. Today is the 14th of March. So, we're in the middle of the month.
Yeah.
Where are we? We've done... What were your plans for the month? And where are we in those plans?
So the Heritage Month, we're looking at on-air programs and events as well. So we launched the month. That was on the last day, 28th of February. And that ushered us into the Heritage Month properly. That's the whole of March. And we started with the Heritage Caravan.
Okay.
So that's our first event of the month. But while the caravan was away, our on-air programming was also ongoing. So you've had conversations with Kweku, Dakwankra, you know.
What were you doing with music? What was your whole agenda with the music thing?
So, you know, we are just talking about tourism, who we are as a people and all that. And beyond places that we visit, our music defines us.
Okay.
So what we are listening to, how we are telling our stories, you know, and that is why in recent times it gets a bit worrying, because you listen to music and you ask yourself, what are they trying to communicate? We don't know. We are dancing to beautiful tunes, but what are they saying? I mean, you listen to the Nanam Pedus, you listen to the George Darkons, and I mean, people of the old, and they were telling us stories.
So you're trying to reenact some of those.
So we are bringing back these memories, you know, that sometimes you don't get advice from your parents, or you don't get advice from what people are saying, but you listen to some of this music and you get a sense of what life really is. It tells you who we are. So this is what we've been looking at, how we have evolved in terms of music, you know.
So that's what you did this week?
Yes. So that's what
so
we've
every
done.
week has a different theme?
Yes.
So music was a theme for this week?
Yeah.
When is the food theme coming?
So I think the food theme is next week, you know. So
no, it's the last week, right?
The last week of the Heritage Month, that will lead to the food festival. So with the food, we are also trying to let us understand, you know, our taste buds properly as a people. That it is not only about burgers and about pizzas and all. We also have great meals. And with what we are consuming, do we even know how to prepare some of these foods correctly?
Okay.
So it's not all about, you know, there are certain people, when the lights go off, they can't cook. Because if you are using your cookers, you are using your blenders, you are using your halogen cookers and all that, you know, if the lights go off, can you use the apotoyoa, can you use the boar, can you use all these? So we are looking at, if you are preparing a to, you know, do we even know the different types?
Thank you.
Certain people will use yam, others will use the bode ajeje, not ripe, not green, you know. So all these, we want to remind ourselves.
So the Back to Your Village Food Festival is the climax of the Heritage Month.
Yeah.
And it's happening at the end of the month.
At the end of the month, 29th and 30th.
So for we the patrons, what's the point? Come and just eat or sample or see, or what's the
combination of all that?
And relive what you were used to when you were growing up in your village.
Because now in Accra, you're not getting those things.
Accra, they have sports the thing, you know. But again, it's a clarion call on the various institutions to get back to basics, first principles of expressing our cultures.
All right.
So the Heritage Month is a month set aside to promote our cultural assets.
Okay.
And also relive our traditions in the various forms.
All right.
So our dance forms, this is what FEMA is doing with the music, telling the story of high life music, entertainment.
Oh, so there'll be music there at the on the food festival.
No, that's the food festival.
Oh, there's music. Okay.
There's always music there.
Okay.
But we've done music. We have culture. We have food, and the different types. So we believe that within the month of March, companies that are in Ghana should also take advantage and celebrate the Heritage Month in the way that they can do it. Because you see, it is in doing this that we can gain traction. So that we can brand it properly.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Wonderful. So it's the last weekend of the month, right?
Someone mentioned that come and relive how it was done in your village but there are people who don't even have any reliving because you've not been, so you have no idea.
So let's go to your village
and see how ordinarily it will be done in your home, because people who are like 35 years old today have children and all that, but chances are that most of them don't even know how a typical village kitchen is like.
Have you eaten aprapransa before? You still have a Ghanaian passport.
Let me tell you
something. Ghanaian passport and Ghana card.
One of the things I miss about my village was when you go, they will cook the cocoyam and things with the cover. They will not peel it. They will cook it and then they will remove it after it's boiled. We call it abuda, and then you eat it with they use this green thing to do the stew.
See this one?
Very nice.
It's a green thing.
No, the small ones. No, but it was very nice. So in Accra, people are very busy, so they don't like.
And it was last year that I learned that the dechi in the Volta food is soup.
What is dechi? I was confused.
So Fetri dechi is Fetri soup.
Exactly. Amadechi. So and it's stuck. Yes. And it was because of dechi, food festival.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Now I know that dechi means soup.
Dechi means soup. Yes.
Dechi. Yeah. Or dechi.
So dechi. Abenkwai, nkumankwai.
So akoko dechi. So we are also learning, cultural acceptance, getting to know what is happening elsewhere, and all.
Our Minister for Tourism is reminding us that today is Ghana Culture Day.
Yeah.
And that, she was at the launch of Heritage Month and endorsed it roundly.
Yes.
And she's saying that it starts at 10 a.m. at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. So we should also storm there.
And why not?
We should storm there today.
You know that the minister was in Germany, I think a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And when she got down, she started with Agbaja. And you see, for me, so these are things that you are
telling
our minister. She herself is an anomaly.
I'm telling you.
I mean, she herself is an exceptional
tourist attraction.
I'm telling you.
She's a tourist attraction.
She's a walking tourist.
No, she herself is an
She's a tourist asset.
Ifa will be an outlier in this thing because she represents everything culture. And she lives it. Maybe now that she's minister, how she will appropriate the resources to bring value is a challenge.
But
so she has our support.
So today is Ghana Culture Day.
Right.
I didn't know.
But how come we are now knowing?
She actually said it to me last week, but I forgot.
But does it have to take the minister? Does it have to take the minister to communicate this?
No.
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, right. This should be something because. But to be fair, right, I think last 2 weeks they also launched the National Heritage Month where they mentioned the various things that are happening. And I think we covered it as well. But we've also been busy pushing the ones that we have. So
but Bernard, we partner. In fact, even on Heritage Caravan, GT is a partner.
Yeah.
Beyond that, some of these things, I don't think that you go to any media house and they won't support.
They'll support
like
it.
That.
We'll support it.
So let's know ahead of time.
So
let's make noise about it.
So send your reporter to the Ghana Culture Day.
Oh, they will be there.
You have to be there.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
So on that note, we take a very quick break.
So actually, Apioko, to be fair, Apioko actually sent it to me. I didn't see it on time. Apioko.
So we don't know
the Ghana Culture Forum in partnership with the Ghana Tourist Authority under the Ministry of Tourism's auspices is organizing the 2025 edition of the Ghana Culture Week Symposium. March 14, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park between 9:30 and 2 p.m. The twist to this year's celebration is being held on the backdrop of the culinary fair Taste 68 at 68. Plenty things, and there will be presentations by Dr. Sela Ajay, our culture, our strength, shaping our future. Very beautiful thing. So please.
But also, to be fair, the minister also mentioned it when she came for the launch. For the launch.
It's true.
Remember, before she launched it officially,
she mentioned
it.
Yes, that we were thinking about Heritage Caravan.
Don't get me wrong. I said this minister, she's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But why should they take the minister to be the one to be telling us?
There should be a system working beyond that.
Pushing it in our faces.
Yeah.
Anyway. Gentlemen and lady.
Thank you. Who is here? I hear you have some people.
Yes, I have friends from Ghana Gross Mastercard.
Ghana Gross.
Yeah, man. They are trying to encourage more young. Yeah, that's the song.
Young people to go into
a great and the value chain and all of that. So we'll be back to get into that. Thank you, Framer, Summers, and Bernard.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleanse for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Let's clean soap, clean.
For free. Provident Insurance Bema Quentway on Dessa. If January equal March 2025. What the insurance one some share Provident Insurance and sa. Some will renew and now we have for Penya Chadiapi. Emufua coupons and a Provident Souvenirs Papa B. And you will change one day and WhatsApp assistant or buy and chat is here. 024-242-6396. Obeso to out over to me swag 15 branches. Yet to a particular and a mobile. Over to me Sunny brokers and agents in the mobile this was. Janami and Sunny na Provident Insurance as some Ghana man some power Makonia Badi wa Wabambo Massa special for you for Kaisan Shaka.
With Provident, man, you're covered.
Why settle for less when you can have it all? Get the KFC Burger Deal, the ultimate combo of flavor and value for just 55 Ghana cedis. With the KFC Burger Deal, you get your choice of a Zinger or Kernel Burger paired with a refreshing drink. Now one per day. Head to your nearest KFC today and grab the KFC Burger Deal for just 55 Ghana cedis. Big bites, small spend. Only at KFC. Remember, this offer is only available for a limited time only. KFC is finger licking good.
Hey, Jenny Yamsa. Stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You have it now. New Yanits now. No, Pia baby, someone some demoni in us. Jenny Yamsa. Fair quiet, yes, in Beer Association Ontario. Use Stay Soft and New Yanits now. Nani boss to tap from cry. A fabric softener. A yen yes, sir. Choose to Stay Soft. No, who's so say no. FDID a garden crack to yatu.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Want better future, join Ghana Grows, cause our grit be the future. Join Ghana Grows, just be one for the culture. Join Ghana Grows, cause say you might be for Ghana. Join Ghana Grows, Ghana Grows. all the skies, from the soil to the sun, from the rains to the crop. Agrics the happy, don't make it stop. Agrics the key, yeah, that's the truth. Earnest youth, make that move. Plant those seeds.
So that's the song, Ghana Grows. Ghana Grows Change Makers are in the studio once again to share their amazing stories of young people doing awesome things in the ATVET agriculture side of things. The Ghana Grows Change Makers is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation. They are partnering Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse. And as Ghana continues its push for increased youth participation in agric and ATVET, initiatives like this one aim to change the negative mindsets young people have about agriculture, agribusiness, technical and vocational skills, and its extended value chain. It targets young women, men, and persons with disabilities between 15 and 35. And I have two of such in the studio. One of them is Gifty Ansah. She's the CEO of Pristine Foods. And then Enoch Ajay is the account manager for Limehouse. Lady, gentlemen, good morning to you. Good to have you in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great. I'm going to start with Enoch, and then you let me know who I have in the studio. Last week you brought a German,
Zina Amini from Skin Gourmet.
Yes, Skin Gourmet. Today, who have you come with?
Okay, so today we are here with Gifty Ansah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the CEO of Pristine Foods.
Right. How did you get to know her? How did she get in contact with your outfit?
You know, we at Ghana Grows, we seek to inspire youth, women, and then men between the ages of 18 and 35 who we think that we can inspire to discover opportunities in agriculture, agribusiness, and in technical and vocational skills sector. So Gifty fell on our radar because we saw that she's doing something very wonderful that only few people have even discovered such opportunity. So we thought what we do at Ghana Grows, why not also throw the spotlight on her, let Ghanaians get to know that there are a lot of opportunities in the agri value chain.
So Gifty, tell us about yourself and what you do. Who are you?
Okay, so I'm Gifty Ansah.
Right.
I'm a Christian, a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yes. I had my undergraduate studies in Legon, sociology and Spanish, and I had my master's in UCC. It was an MSc in Angel Studies and Management.
Okay. So thereafter, what were you doing and how did you get into this?
Okay, so between 2010, 2021, I was in the auto parts business.
You mean spare parts?
I mean spare parts in Abusoka.
You are doing spare parts?
In Abusoka.
Were you doing control board or you are doing the exhaust?
Oh, so I'm mostly doing head gaskets, door handles, air filters. I know. A lot of people get surprised, even my Chinese partners. I mean, when I started, young lady, they're like, first you are very young and then you are a lady. It doesn't.
What's the connection here? How did you get into that?
So an uncle introduced me.
Okay.
I never thought I would ever.
I know a lot of the people in Abusoka are Kwewus. If your uncle is
I am
one,
not Kwewu.
Where are you from?
I am Guan from the Eastern region.
So your uncle linked you?
Yes.
And you did that for how long?
I'm still doing it actually.
Oh, you've not stopped?
I've not stopped.
No, you love money.
It's good to be financially comfortable, no?
Right, makes sense. I get it. So you did this and you are still doing it?
Yes,
but at what point?
So my new baby is Pristine Foods.
Okay.
You know, with the unstable forex situation in Ghana, and you know, auto parties heavily dependent on foreign exchange. So I was praying and hoping for something more homegrown.
Okay.
And the Holy Spirit inspired me to venture into food processing.
Okay.
Particularly ready-made spring roll wrappers.
Ready-made spring roll wrappers?
Yeah. Now I know it's a novel idea, but mostly in Europe and in North America and places like that, there are ready-made spring roll wrappers. So it's the flour bit of spring rolls. When you buy spring rolls, it's made up of the shell or the wrapper, then the filling. So you have beans, you have sausages as the filling. So Pristine Foods makes the spring roll wrappers on the wrappers. Yes.
So if someone like me, I buy this, you brought some, right?
I brought a sample, yes.
So this is refrigerated?
Yes, it has to be frozen.
Okay, so it's frozen. I like the packaging too. Was it made here?
The packaging was designed in Ghana.
It can be made here.
Yes. It was designed in Ghana.
It can be made here. So spring roll wrappers.
Yeah.
This is nice. So if I pick this from the shop,
yes.
What would I do? I can eat it or what?
You pick this from the shop. You thaw it. You add your filling of choice. So if you want to add macaroni, if you want to add wele, if you want to have abobitabi spring rolls,
wele and spring rolls,
yeah, you add your that's the flexibility. Ready abobitabi.
Charlie, don't do this. You can't do this. How do I add abobitabi to this?
The point is
the filling is
the
what
filling
I want.
of choice.
Right.
Filling of choice.
Right.
So whatever you want to add to it, you prior to Pristine Foods making our ready-made spring roll wrappers, the ones on the Ghanaian market were imported from Lebanon and some Asian countries.
Right.
So if you go to high-end supermarkets like the Max Mart, the Koalas, you see the imported ones. So this is the first of its kind that is locally manufactured.
Right. And this is linked to Agric. I want us to establish that and paint a stronger picture for people who are listening to have their understanding of the value chain. How do you get what you have?
Okay.
What's the connection to Agric?
Okay. So our ready-made spring roll wrappers are made from flour. So wheat flour.
Okay.
Wheat flour. So yes, there's a direct link. And we also have filled spring rolls.
What's that?
The filled already made. They're already filled spring rolls. They're frozen spring rolls.
Right.
Yes, we also sell those. So the agribusiness value chain is a vast one.
Right.
Okay, it's a vast one. Apart from the farmers that we all know when we talk of Agric, you have the food processors.
Right.
You have the transporters. So my product is a frozen food product.
Right.
Someone goes into cold chain transportation.
It's part of the value chain.
Exactly. Cold chain storage. The chain is quite vast and opportunities are endless.
So here I'm seeing that professionals who even have something going on can still get on board the Agric value chain and push it that
way. Exactly. There are a lot of opportunities in the Agric value chain, as she said. So people have the perception that Agric is basically for the uneducated one, those who didn't go to school. No, we have a lot of opportunity in the value chain, from the farmer to the transporter to the processor to the designer who designed the packaging. Just as you see this one, very nicely designed by Limehouse. You can see that
Limehouse
did that. So a lot of opportunity, and that is what MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard, Roadshow and Limehouse we are doing to throw more light that. Go into it, just study the system, study the terrain, look at what you can do as far as the value chain is concerned, and create an opportunity for yourself.
Okay, so Gifty, tell me about some of the challenges too. We want to have a holistic picture.
So there were quite a lot of challenges, especially at the initial stages. The fear of the unknown. So our ready-made spring roll wrappers, like I said, is the first of its kind. I only knew about the product. I hadn't seen or used the product. So I set up a facility without knowing whether or not this would work.
Okay.
The first time I saw ready-made spring roll wrappers was the first time I manufactured some in my facility.
I see.
Yes. So it's the fear of the unknown.
Right.
I mean, I'm making this huge investment. How will it turn out? Will it work?
Will people buy?
But now we are in all Max Mart shops in Accra. We are in about 10 Melcom shops. We have a number of restaurants ordering every month. We have caterers, individual home users. So the fear of the unknown. And I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable because, the economy is not too conducive for young people. Because how much money does the average young person have to go into this kind of
this must be capital intensive?
It is. But I was privileged because I was already in business.
No, you
I had the privilege.
Money. I get it. So how did your collaboration with the Ghana Grocery Change Makers program help you venture into this and set up more comfortably?
Okay, so I had already started this when their program started, when the Ghana Growth program started. And I had the opportunity of selling to them. I think it was one of their events. Yes, that was how I got to know of the program.
Okay,
yes.
So how can more people get in touch with you so that they can have Gifty's kind of story where they have their products on shelves all across supermarkets and shops all over the country?
So at Ghana Grows, our doors are always open to all youth, especially persons with disability. People think that once you have a disability, it means that you can't do anything. No, we are saying that your disability doesn't mean inability. Just come to Ghana. You can call us on 0308 255 755 0308 255 755.
So when we call you, say, oh, Caleb said I should call you.
Yes, just call. When you call, just mention Caleb's name. Just say you are talking to, you want Ghana Grows, you want to venture into agribusiness, and we are there for you. Or you can also dial our short code, star 718 star 50 hash. Star 718 star 50 hash, and then you just follow the prompt. Also on social media, we have on Instagram, we have Springboard Ghana Grows. Springboard Ghana Grows. On all other social media platforms, we have Ghana Grows.
That's
on
exciting.
X, on Facebook, we have Ghana Grows.
That's exciting. So, Gifty, what would be your advice to young people, especially women, who are out there who think agric is for old people? And the value, they don't even look at the value chain, which is most importantly what we are trying to highlight here. What are some of the opportunities you have seen that people can take advantage of?
Oh, I think the most important thing is to take the first step.
Okay.
You take the first step. You see, we are capable of much more than we give ourselves credit for. If we set our minds to things, you can get much more done. So there are opportunities in the processing space. You process raw materials, you make them more shelf stable. I think some of the innovators, we have some people making gari out of plantain. I don't know if Enoch.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the innovators making gari out of plantain and making teas with turkey berry.
Exactly. Making ice cream with plantain. Yes.
The innovation.
Yes, turkey berry tea. Yeah.
Turkey berry tea. The innovation is mind-boggling. The Ghanaian youth really has what it takes. So, like I said, we are capable of much more than we give ourselves credit for. We just have to set our minds to it, and we have to strive for excellence.
So we should take the first step.
Yes.
Would you say this has been rewarding for you personally?
Oh, it has been. It has been. It has been very rewarding. It has been very rewarding because like I said, when I was starting out, I wasn't too sure of how things would go. But here we are in all Maximat shops, we are in Melcom, we are in 10 Melcom shops in Accra. I think that the future is bright. I think the future is bright.
I'm happy to hear this. Enoch, give us your final words.
Well, as I said, Ghana Grows, our door is open to anyone who wants to learn or get knowledge about the agribusiness. Also, currently, the team is at Koforodia School of the Deaf.
Koforodia School of the Deaf?
Yes, currently, as we said, we've opened our doors to anybody, especially persons with disability. We are not being discriminatory. In this case, inclusivity is what we look for. That is why we're targeting young men as well as persons with disabilities. Currently, the team is there trying to educate these people, trying to create opportunity for them to also benefit from this whole program that we're doing.
Wonderful. Enoch J, Account Manager, Limehouse, thank you so much. And then, of course, Gifty Answer, CEO, Pristine Foods, thank you so much for passing through. Any final words? Where can we find your products? And if we want to call you, want to try some of your stuff for the weekend, where should we find you?
So our contact number is 020 752 2019 020 752 2019. Our social media handles Pristine Foods GH on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. We also have a website, pristinefoodsghana.com. And you can find our products in 10 Melcom shops in Accra and all Maximat shops in Accra.
Wonderful. Congratulations
Thank
to you
so much.
Gifty Answer, CEO, Pristine Foods, and then of course Enoch J, Account Manager, Limehouse. Thank you so much for passing through, for inspiring us to look into agric and the value chain there is. City Breakfast Show A quarter to the top of the hour. We'll take a very quick break. When we are back, there is more.
Ghana youth, it's time to rise. Embrace our great reach for the skies. From the soil to the sun, from the rains to the crop. At Greeks the happy, don't make it stop. At Greeks the key, yeah, that's the truth. Ghana's youth, make that move. Plant those seeds, watch them grow. The future is bright, let the passion show.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Why settle for less when you can have it all? Get the KFC Burger Deal, the ultimate combo of flavor and value for just 55 Ghana cedis. With the KFC Burger Deal, you get your choice of a Zinger or Kernel Burger paired with a refreshing drink. Head to your nearest KFC today and grab the KFC Burger Deal for just 55 Ghana cedis. Big bites, small spend, only at KFC. Remember, this offer is only available for a limited time only. KFC is finger licking good.
Dear home, no interest for 2 years. Are you ready to step into your dream home? With Lakeside Estates' exclusive offer, you can own your own home in just 2 years with no interest payment. This offers you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle change. Choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Your future awaits you. Imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. Call us today on 020-477-5043 or 020-477-5042. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour for our available homes. TNC supplied. Make your dream a reality. Lakeside Estate. Quality homes for all.
Hey, Jenny Ramsa. Stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it in say be you met na oche. Ni you net na oche. No bia baby say one sem demoni ni na say. Jenny Ramsa. Fe kwaye yesim bia associate Ontario. Use Stay Soft and you net na oche. Na ni boss to da from cra. Fabric softener. Near say sir. Choose to Stay Soft. Ne hu so say no. FDIG e gadin kra to yatu.
Hi, Mom, it's me, Kwame.
Hey, Kwame. How are you?
Mom, I'm fine, oh.
Okay.
You know something?
No, tell me.
I'm looking for a complete furniture set for my new place.
Kwame, I've told you before, the only one place you should go, eh?
Yeah, Mom, but I need a mattress to fit my bed.
Ash foam.
I need a bed to fit my room.
Ash foam.
What about a sofa where go relax my body?
Ash foam.
Wardrobes to fit all my clothes?
Ash foam.
What about linens and pillows for sweet dreams?
Kwame. Ash foam.
Mommy, I feel you. Ash foam all the way.
For mattresses to beds, sofas, wardrobes, linens, pillows, and more, don't waste time and visit any Ash foam showroom across the country or call our hotline at 0243 200 729. Ash foam. Feel it, know it.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
I'm
Abeku Udum, the richest man, playing Abeku Kwanzaa. Some of your messages have been coming through. Hello, City CBS. Last year, the Futu Afa share of Cape Coast was very grand and well organized with your Tumfo in attendance. There was a new board chair by the former EC Charlotte Osei. There was a new board chaired by the former EC Charlotte Osei, who has been seen promoting this year's festival outside Ghana. This is a testament to the fact that the indigents must allow external influences to improve upon the existing rich cultural histories and festivals we have. My 2 cents. Efia, thank you for that. You came from Adenta with your message. That's more than 2 cents. Thank you. Hello, Bernard and team. For tourism to work, the target must be shared across different key stakeholders. KPIs must be deliberately determined and pushed from the presidency with the following: Tourism Minister, Regional Ministers, DCEs for those specific tourist attractions, Paramount Chiefs for these areas, District Common Fund Managers to dedicate determined funds for tourist points, hotel authorities, media associations, private companies to tie staff annual leave to specific tourist visit points, police to commit. This is Papa J from DC. Thank you, Papa J. Good morning, Bernard and team. I sum up your discussion on tourism as an intersection between creativity and curiosity. When I studied at my university here in the States, I learned that 4 students from my university protested and sat on a bar stool that they were not supposed to during the civil rights movement. Today, those bar stools found themselves in a museum, which I had to pay $40 to go and see. This is from 4 a.m. Jim Man, North Carolina. Bernard and Chief, thank you for sending your thoughts. 4 a.m. Jim Man. Bernard and guys, I went to Kakuma. I was unimpressed after walking on the thing. Oh, Canopy Walkway. That's what it's called, for 15 minutes. There was nothing else to do. I went to Cape Coast and Elmina Castle. It was underwhelming for me, but I could see the potential. Their library was a sad sight to behold. Nothing impressive. In 2025, why aren't there audiovisuals and interactive media to enhance the slave trade story there? As for the National Museum in Adabaka, so let me not talk about it. After 30 minutes there, all I said was, I've been to museums in Amsterdam, Berlin, Hamburg, etc. The experience and the packaging is so impressive. You need 3 to 4 hours to enjoy the place. They all have proper audiovisuals and even family corners or food courts to encourage family trips. Ghana is just punching below its weight as the foremost Pan-African nation. Don't blame Ghanaians for not doing domestic tourism. Yao, send that from Berlin. The key or magic phrase to activate our tourism is creating the experience around every single tourism site. I have always told you that the biggest dormant tourism site is the Amojopa Enclave. If we create the right experience, it will beat our minds. From Canopy Walkway to paragliding, hiking, carnivals, cable cars, street jams, botanical sightseeing, traditional performances. December in Ghana is all about the intense experience. All right. Minutes to the top of the hour. Now your quartet will be in school, madam. She'll be leading class together with the principal, professor, you know them name. Ready to party?
You ready to party? You ready to party? It's summertime. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So get ready to party. School madam will be coming. You will be having a blast later this morning. Ajubi Rafia Kenting is in with the news at 10. Show was ably produced by Fred Tetejabano. Charlie Fred, what's up? Miniano. Bernard Avle was here. Samuel Thomas, Frema Edwinyame. Edwin Kofi was on digital. Siba Arba Benning, Samuel Akom. Abeku Odum, the richest man. Diamond Cement, while we are at it, is asking you to always choose the quality cement on the market. 42.5 hour grade is available. 32.5 hour grade is there as well. If you wish to buy Diamond Cement, which we encourage you to do, deal with the company directly. Locate us. We are at Aplauta Credit Buepe. Numbers to call 0244 313 368 050 111 978. Diamond Cement is still as hard as a diamond. Now, football fans, it's time for the ultimate showdown this Sunday, 16th March 2025. The Carabao Cup final takes center stage as Liverpool, chasing their 11th League Cup title, face Newcastle United, who are hungry for their first ever League Cup trophy. Catch all the action live at any of the 5 Honeysuckle Sports Bar locations in Accra, East Legon Airport, Spintex, Laboni and Osu. Plus the City FM Roadshow will be live from Honeysuckle Laboni, bringing you expert analysis, live commentary and all the match day bars. But that's not all. There will be prizes to be won, exciting halftime entertainment and fun engagement activities to keep the energy levels sky high. Match coverage starts at 4 p.m. Arrive early, grab a drink, and let's make this final one to remember. It's powered by the Carabao Energy Drink. Fuel your passion for football. What's up?
Hi, Caleb. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Let's get into the news.
Hello, and welcome to the City News at 10.